Excuse me. Alright. Make sure the stream is all okay. It seems to be just fine. Let's have a quick post on the Discord as well. How you doing, Rivaldi? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Spike. I'm not doing a super professional stream today. I'm trying to throw it back a little bit. To last year. Sorry. Sorry, concentrating on two things at once is not my forte. There we go. I'm trying to throw it back to last year. Last year I did, I think, like a few days of streaming while my parents were on holiday. Unfortunately this year, you do you, boo, I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, so you'll be lurking. That's fine. The long and short of it is last year I played a lot of Iron Man while parents were away, and usually that means I've got tons of time to myself. This year my parents went away yesterday for 3 weeks, which is longer than they usually go for. But, as the case may be, my sister didn't go with them this year because she was at a wedding in Mexico. Which means that I don't actually have that much time to do these streams and such, because she'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday. So it means I'm going to have to cram a bunch of stuff in, just for the hell of it. So, here I am. I'm going to get the chat up on my phone so I can keep track of what's going on. My phone has been used just to drain battery with Dragon Ball the past few days, so that's going to be a nice reprieve for it. But, as the case may be, we are going to get going in a second. They're going to play a new character. I say a new character, it's a remodeled old character. Even though the character's kind of garbage, I just want to play it, so who cares. And search for myself on YouTube always seems strange. Oh, well, okay. Clickety click, make sure I'm on no sound, thank you. Pause that and get the chat up. Excellent. Alright, so I'm going to make a new character in this slot down here. We're going to do I'm going to put it the right way around. Datamancer, which I've made before. We need a new name though. What's more important is that you're having fun. Yeah, man, having fun's fine. We need a new name. I'm probably going to do... Last time it was named Briar. I'm not sure how well that's going to fit this time. I really hate the fact that Magic and Tech is like one of the worst combos in the game, and yet yeah, the sad part is that it's from the armor set I want to use. So despite the fact I have every instinct to go just full end game and make like a decent character to stick through, this isn't ever going to make the cut, ever. It's a watered down version of a watered down class already, so I'm not a huge fan. But as the case may be, I will sort something out. Magic is actually going to be my primary source of damage, so I might go with Infernal. Because I think the only ones that give me Magic and Tech, we've got the Necro, we've got the Bugu. I think that might be it, like outside like the Umpa and the Ironclad. But I really don't want to water it down any more than it needs to, so we're going to go with Infernal. We'll go with the Demon Horns Infernal one. You want to call it Jeffy? I don't know about Jeffy. I don't know about Jeffy. Not quite. Trying to thunk with my brain parts. If I'm using the mic trim stuff anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on theme, Infernal is about fire, being a demon, and the mushroom stuff obviously is about mushrooms. So we're going to search for best mushrooms to grill. We'll see what pops up. I don't need to know how to do it. He's telling me Portobello, but there's already a Lady Portobello. In fact, there's Lady Portobello. Is it Portobello or Portobello? I'm not sure. One of those two. Portobello, Portobello, Portobello. Okay. What other mushrooms do people grill? I don't even eat mushrooms. Mushrooms for grilling. Give me one. Everyone's just saying Portobello. I don't understand why that's the only type of mushrooms that people do. But okay. Why not just commit to it? Oh, that is not where the letter P was. You have to excuse me, I've had a new keyboard since the last time I streamed. That is how we spell Portobello, isn't it? I'm like 90% sure. Portobello. And Portobello, I'm fairly certain. Oh, it's Portobello, okay. That does not look... That does not look like a good name. Oh well, I'll commit. Trying to think of the least disruptive quest line. Shiitake, Captain Obvious, Senator Bootylicious. Let's go with Shiitake. Why not? That sounds like a fine thing to do. Good suggestion. I don't think anyone grills Shiitake mushrooms, but you know, it's cool. That's not important anymore. Just gonna have a look. Grilled Shiitake mushrooms. Oh, they do! I like this. This is fine. Everything's fine. Thank you very much. Right. So I'm just trying to think which of the quests is the least invasive, because obviously there are ones that remove NPCs from the game, and I don't want to do that. I think it might be Church of Faust, to be honest. Yeah, why not? Alright. I've got some gear set up anyway, so it's not like it's a huge deal. But I will equip bits and pieces. Again, I had a character that used this sort of stuff before, so I kind of know where I want to go with it, but not entirely. First things first is actually got to make the gear. It's got a Rurik. I did remake my blacksmith, so as the case may be, he's a little bit funky at present. Oops, shield and droids, Ghast Seed, Chitin, I believe. Screw it, scrap all of them. Alright. Let's have this. Like a legendary one, please. Thank you. Next up was the Ultima stuff, which needs the Vorpal gear. Oops. So we can deposit that. Then deposit all of these, click, 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 and I need these ones, I believe. Let me check, because I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, Vorpal armor to go into Ultima armor. Cheers. Perfect. This is Vorpal, yes. Legendary, please. Epic, not quite. Not quite there. We'll say I've not got the perfect rings for this. I won't hide that. I have got a couple of epic ones. One of them's fresh. One of them is wow. Can you? There we go. Thank you. Just a reason with it. One of them is okay. Deposit there. I can grab them when I need them. One of them's already got some unfortunate mods on it, but until I get more Azarius rings, that's kind of all I can do. Purely based off the fact that, again, I've got this one here, which I don't really need the faith, and I've got this one here, and like I don't really need the vitality or the stam regen. I don't even know why their stats are on there, but you know, I'd rather use these two than nothing at all. And let's grab. I haven't got enough HP to really worry about anything yet, so let's do even that to a 101 because I'm unpredictable, and we'll grab some mana packs as well. Grab a credit, and we should be good. Let me get the chat set back up again. Click. Got any news on the bandit or droid quest lines? I have not. So, behind the scenes, I've not played much Roguelands at all recently, but I have been speaking with Rabbit. Of course, you may have seen Rabbit on the video we did a while ago, where we just goofed off and did stupid stuff for a while. Rabbit has played twice as much of this game as I have, and some more. Like, she's played tons. So, behind the scenes, she and I have been working on a tier list going into the next patch, which should be released pretty soon. I've done all the write-up and stuff, but I just need to finish up the last bits and pieces and do builds and such, because it's a tier list in regards to endgame gear, endgame builds, and people are happy. I'm happy people to go in and debate me on those. But given that between her game time and my game time, we've got 1,500 hours, and we are within a reasonable amount of variance agreed on every single thing on the list we added. We're fairly confident that if anyone spits out the dummy or tries to throw it back in our faces, we can debate that and dismiss it. It isn't every build in the game, it's just the top tier ones. It goes from S tier to like C tier, and there's only like 5 builds in there, I think. So there's not a lot there, but the rest of them are kind of crap by comparison. Like, genuinely, those 5 builds are the game. Like, there's no doubt about that to me or to her. So that's where we are with that. And I'm also compiling a super bug list again for Sean. Dragon Bolt's out now, so coming on, it'll be the 1st of July, I think. I should have that ready. I wanted it to be released so that Sean can have time to release Dragon Bolt, breathe a while, then give him the information he needs for bug fixes, because I did it before for 1.5.1, and I've done it for other stuff in the past. So I've been compiling that since this patch started. So most of the important ones I'll put at the top, and the rest will just be like incy-wincy weird ones, but there is stuff we've been doing. I don't know if we're going to get stronger next patch. I don't know if Sean's going to nerf any of the stuff, because there's a high risk, and I am kind of already dismissing that within this huge text, just a wall of text that I've written up for the tier list, that Sean shouldn't nerf anything, because I think everything's really fair. But these are 5 stronger builds than anything else in the game. I also mentioned that it's not entirely like out of balance, so that the other ones aren't useful. There are fringe cases where the builds are really good still. It's just not top tier. So I'm not too fussed with those. But hopefully Sean doesn't nerf anything. But I don't know if we'll get any stronger. I can't see him adding new races. I can't see him adding new stats. I can't see him adding too many new weapons. I don't know what he's going to do with the rest of Roguelands, because like if you come to here, you can see he's added these caps which weren't here before, so he can't really add in any extra levels unless he adds 2 more down here, possibly 4 more down here, which would be cool. You're expecting mag to get changed if anything gets changed. Yep, magic is the power stat in the game right now. It is. I'm not going to mention all the information, because obviously you kind of want to save something for the post, so people actually read it. I will get into a level, by the way, just to something easy. Let's do Shroom Town, seems fitting. I won't mention everything, but magic is the power stat. no doubt, magic is the power stat. If you don't use magic, you aren't going to be as strong as other people that are using magic. That's just the way it is. But it's also true that not every single endgame build is based around magic. So it's not like it's on its own, but most of the builds at the top are magic builds. So, you know, I agree. But I don't see him changing it because none of the magic builds to me seem overpowered. I think it has more to do with the fact that the gear we have in the game and the races we have in the game lend themselves to weapons, and those weapons, like a lot of weapons that could be fantastic, aren't, purely because there isn't a good enough race or a good enough like weapon to take advantage of the stats that armor offers, for example, as the case is with magic tech. So, you know, and again, Ultra Boss armor is one of the biggest proliferators of really strong builds right now. And it's equally true that most of them don't drop correctly. So a lot of the builds that could be potentially great aren't. And the builds that can fully manifest without having Exodus armor, of course. The ones that can fully manifest tend to be the strongest right now, because they have got the best gear in the game to give the most stats for that build. So, just the way it works. And yes, Magic does have the highest DPS with a banana. That is not a secret. That is actually the highest tier thing in the game. If you wanted to try hard, you get good with a banana. That's it. There's the secret. Yeah, Warforged Gun's still up there. Not as high as you'd think, but it's still up there. It's also incredibly boring, but it's up there. How's the audio leveling, by the way? It should be fine, I think, but I have no real way to check. Excuse me, sir. Just under 1,000 health. Okay. Well, I got Church of Faust, didn't I? Yeah. What do I need? Shield and armor. But yeah, I don't think any of the... Interesting. I don't think any of the existing stats need nerfing, or any of the weapons in the game need nerfing. Some might need buffs, but I don't feel as though the banana, for example, being the strongest weapon in the game is particularly unfair. Warforged Gun is only okay against Maiko. It's not great. I do mention this in the post. I basically have the tier list pretty high up, and then just analysis and reasoning behind a lot of the stuff for where we place them. But yeah, the Warforged Gun I did a boss rush with, because I was so bored with the build. I'd said I'll do a boss rush, and I'll see how many bosses I can take down. And I had reasonable success, and I didn't die to anything until it was a boss I wasn't familiar with. Ow. So you know, it's got that going for it, but it's not the best build in the game, and hasn't been for a couple of patches now. Even then, Banana was probably still better, it was just riskier. What up, Gru? Where you at, homie? Oh, you're above me, what the heck? Whoa, 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 where are you? What? Why are you off screen? Come here! Hey! Hey! Get out of here! See if he follows me. Yeah, one of the biggest well, every single weapon that's really, really good has a downside. Sean thought of this. So each of them has a weakness, and each of them has a strength. So like even the top tier stuff, it's kind of like, yeah, this is the weakness of this build, because every single build has one. Bananas is very obvious. Warforged Guns is very obvious as well. But again, that's all I'm going to talk on that. He's a scumbag Gru. I think if I run away from him, he might follow me, but it's not guaranteed. This is actually why I want a combat chip. Again, like I normally despise people trying to like workshop the game. Say like, oh, this is what we should be adding, because that gave us something such as droids with stats, which, yes, it's great, it's a great addition, fantastic. Where are you, Gru? Like, yeah, great, perfect, you did it, you made you made a change happen. There he is. You made a change happen. That's great. Don't run off now. But like droids with stats is minimal changes. Isn't affected by tier. It wasn't a worthwhile addition to the game for Sean to have to sit down, add stats to every single droid and ultimate droid, and of course the gold 15s. So, that was loud. How you doing, Agara? Welcome. But yeah, I don't like people workshopping the game often, and a lot of suggestions I just dismiss because I don't think they're a right fit. Again, I'm not in control of the game, so I can't say that with any sort of certainty, but you know, I would like to have maybe 1 or 2 extra combat chips for everything, and a combat chip I'd really like would be like a dark hole or something, like a black hole. I said dark hole because I play too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a black hole or some variety where all items and things like this, like I don't know how they're quite coded, but all items, enemies that can be moved, and sort of like I don't know what you call them, like entities, I guess, will be pulled towards it. It doesn't do damage, but it might be like a tech chip or something, just, you know, as if you throw out, it'd be like a plasma grenade, you throw out and it'd pop, and then draw things straight to it. Obviously, it'd have an effective range, and the only reason you'd really use it is to group up enemies, but I feel like that would be a cool way to mitigate a lot of the ads in levels for people that don't have level clearing builds or weapons. So, you don't know when being new update. There will be an update next month, according to Sean. I do not know when. He said it should be the tail end of July, but again, I'll give him all the bugs and stuff that I can, and hopefully he'll do bug fixes for the patch, because that'll give him, you know, 2 to 3 to 4 weeks to sort that out if I release the information on the 1st of July, and hopefully we'll have the patch before the end of the month. Although he said, you know, should be the tail end of July, and it's on Sean time, and Sean time is not consistent in any stretch, so there will be a new update. It'll be probably a month away. Alright, shield again, thank you. I am going to move on to challenge level stuff in a minute as well, because I want to get more whatever it's called. You tell me and I'll tell you. I want to get more experience faster. We can keep going. Oh yeah, this game isn't dead. It never has been, but it's not dead. Yay! Oh, something doesn't feel right. Okay. Didn't see. No, okay. Lots of stuff going on sometimes, so I can't quite tell if something's going to spawn or not. There is time. Yep. Cool. All right, media shower. Not a problem. Let's play some Happy Feet, everybody. Happy Feet. Happy Feet. This is the Happy Feet song. Happy Feet. Happy Feet. She's been practicing for battle right. That's what's happening. Dodging stuff all day. Nearly finished. Should be the last few raining down now. That might be it. Right. I forget. Congratulate you with 400 subs. Hope you'll be up to 1,000 or more. Thank you very much. I have not made any content for a while, so I appreciate that people are still subscribing for some reason, even though I'm not uploading anything. Which is cool. Ow. Of all the dodging I could have done, not that one. But yeah, I appreciate that. Muhammad Ali of Roguelands. I don't know about that, but thank you. If there was a boxing weapon, I'd use it. Bop. Right. Even though strength is garbage. Spoilers. Everyone knew that. I'd use it. I mean, technically, I guess this is the Monk's Gauntlet. Maybe I should use that. Excuse me, sir. I knew that was coming, I just couldn't dodge in time. Ugh. Are we doing 163 magic at level 27? I'm level 27, everybody. I did it. Lenny 27. Let's go. Hope you guys are doing well, by the way. I know it's a Monday. I imagine everybody's either at school or work or something. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate the company. Again, I'm trying to make the most out of having a free house for however short a stint it may be. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get something sorted out pretty soon. But yeah, unfortunately it's not happening a lot. Just for reference, my mum retired. She's now finished work. She's not 60 or anything. She's on the cusp of turning 50, but she's retired. So she doesn't work anymore, which means I have next to no time to do anything, because she's always in the house, and it's not always going to be that good for me. So, in between job hunting, stuff like that, which I'm kind of putting on a hold, which I probably shouldn't, but I've only got 3 days here, so it should be fine. You know, I don't have that much time to record, to stream, do whatever. It's not just that she's here and can interfere with commentary, which I'll be honest, right? I am a big advocate for highly edited professional content, and I don't produce highly edited professional content. I'd like to, but I don't. So a lot of what's slowed me down is unwillingness to compromise. Unwillingness, that makes sense. Unwillingness to compromise. I'm kind of steadfast in what I want, but I'm not able to achieve it, so I'm kind of just not doing anything, which seems kind of silly, right? A lot of advice that's out there is kind of just like, just do it. Like, do whatever it is that you need to do. Just keep at it, because otherwise you'll never get it done, which is completely fair. Yeah. Oh. Between a worm and a guardian. Not a rock and a hard place. Oh, another one. Kill this guy first. Bop. And pop. Oh, I missed him. There we go. Yeah, how you doing, Vince? Yeah, there'll be an update end of July. Hopefully. Hopefully. Roguelands is your life. Oh. Gollum. Interrupting my daytime. Where you at, compadre? I'm waiting for him. I just remember one song, It's My Life. Well, It's My Life, Hope You Forget, that one. It's a good song, if that's the one you're talking about. There you go. What are the bosses up top right now? I should probably move down so that when they spawn they should be below me. Why don't you stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time? Because that eats into your bandwidth. So I only use one. Basically, I don't have a good... my internet's not good enough. That's another thing I should have mentioned as well. Streaming is possible, and I'm not too bothered about professionalism on streams. Like, I'd like to do it better, but I don't have the equipment, I don't have the time, I don't have the editing software, I don't have the internet connection. Which isn't an issue by myself, like, it's fine, I think. It's not to say it's always going to be perfect. Because I don't have an internet connection specifically for streaming. But when someone else is in the house, namely my sister and or my mother and or my father, there won't be a chance for me to stream because the internet just gets strangled. At which point the stream will suffer a lot. How you doing, sub? Let's get this guy gone. Alright, Gollum, where'd you go? Where you go, friend? Where you is? Did you despawn? Did you give up? Hello? Ow. Alright. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. Please let me know if you are doing well. That would be good to know. I want to make sure everyone's doing okay. If you have any level requests, I can do them, no problem at this point, I think. I won't be doing Ultra Bosses right now, though. I looked away, I didn't know. I just did it anyway. I do need to get this character's level 100, so I'm probably going to get it to a decent state where I've got all the armor and stuff done, and then just grind the cathedral. Might be a little bit boring, but I mean, whatever, it's cool. Hopefully you guys are happy for me to do that. You're doing well? That's good, Vincent, I'm glad to hear that. How's everybody enjoying Dragon Ball? I assume everybody, well, most of everybody should have it. If not, I know Colin, I probably shouldn't call him Colin, is doing, Nolik is doing a video about how to get an emulator on your PC for Android phones. So you guys will be able to emulate that and play it on your PC instead. When that happens, I might follow his instructions to potentially play a Dragon Ball on stream, but it's a bit of a long shot. So far, I'm enjoying it, I will say, more than I thought I would. But that's not to say I think it's perfect. It's not a game tailored towards me. I'm not the target audience for that game at all. And unfortunately, a lot of the content is locked behind RNG, which also has a pretty decent bearing on the units you can create, and therefore how good your team can become. So day one for Dragon Ball. Bear in mind it launched really late, so I didn't get to play it until I was up and I was at work all weekend. So I did get to play it on Saturday and on Sunday, even though it released on Friday. I got to play it yesterday and the day before. But on day one, on Saturday for me, I wasn't able to get much of anything. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get much of anything. I got weapons every time I summoned something, which was really bad because at the start you need new units. And then I didn't get a second unit until I bought, I managed to grind up just enough and bought Ring of Bolt. So, you know, it's not been an easy process for me, and I've seen people in PvP that have like tons and tons of, can you go away please, sir? I forgot how fast you moved. Alright, that's fine. But yeah, I really had a rough time with the first day, and then the second day I went through and purchased just a ton of extra characters. I got a few more from the summons, but it meant my first day of progress was really slow, and there was nothing I could have done about it outside of buying Magicite to get new characters, which again I have no problem with doing that. I will probably be doing that this week, to be honest, when I actually have money to spare, but not a lot. I just want to support Sean a little bit because it is a good game. Like, it seems solid. There are things I don't understand about it, insofar as you can get characters to move to different spaces by moving the one you're holding in a specific direction. I don't like that the character you move has to be the one to initiate an attack, because you might want to put 3 different characters somewhere else, but you want to move one guy to like a defensive position, but he doesn't have a very good assist sphere, which is one of the abilities, so you lose out by trying to save it. It seems dumb. So like I watch the AI play and think that's not how I play, because you have like an auto mode and you can see the enemy stuff. Not Dragon Ball, Dragon Bolt. Sean's new game, Dragon Bolt Vanguard. I do love Dragon Ball though. Can you die? There we go. Stupid squirm. But yeah, I feel as though the AI doesn't play how I would play, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that. But yeah, also because the PvP reset, like the daily reset, happens at like 1 AM my time, it means unless I stay up quite late, I'm not actually able to get involved with the PvP that much, because I can get to, you know, rank 20 or something, which I've done a couple of times, and then by the end of the day I'm like rank 100. So the PvP is unfortunate for me because I'm not in America, which seems dumb, right? Like, it seems like a bit of an oversight, but all right, fair enough. Even if I were to get to rank 1, someone would beat me before the day ended. So there's not much I can really do about that. No, you don't worry about it. They are similar names. It's Dragon Ball Vanguard, not Dragon Ball. But there we go. I probably should have used its full title. I could have been more specific, don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm a little bit... I'm enjoying it quietly. I said, even when the game was like in development and Sean showed off a few bits and pieces, it's still in development, just for reference, but Sean was showing off bits and pieces with the game. When he said Wallace and Ringer Bolt were in the game, I said, oh, cool, I'll get Wallace, and then I'll see what I want to do. So the goal for me right now is to unlock Wallace, and then I'll see what I want to do after that, if I want to continue playing or not, for example. But from here, it seems like I might do, because even if I get Wallace, I'd need to use him, you know what I mean? And there's a potential chance I might want to get a shiny Wallace, but this week Wallace is on one of the rotations in the summoning area, so... Yep. So perhaps I'll be able to get him or the shiny one, or both. Well, yeah, I know the recipe to make him, but again, the RNG means I don't always get units that I want. You make new characters, specifically named characters, like special units as they are, by combining basic units. And basic units are RNG, or they're in the shop, in the bazaar, to buy. So, I need a paladin and a cleric. I managed to get a 4-star cleric, and I haven't seen a paladin at all. I've seen them on the enemy team, tons. I've just never seen one for myself, which is garbage. And again, all it is progress is stifled by RNG, which is normally not a good thing for me. Like, admittedly, stuff like drops, like armor drops, weapon drops, things like that, keys, and whatever else, are content gating to create artificial content, which is, you know, it happens all the time. It's one of the better ways to do it, other than just making the enemies have like a ton of HP. But, you know, RNG for drops isn't a problem. RNG for a game mechanic kind of feels like it is. Because in this, for example, if I didn't have the Mightshroom helmet drop, okay? Dragon Bolt Vanguard's on Android phones currently, should be coming to iPhone soon. Again, if you are interested to play it and you haven't got an Android phone, it is free to download, by the way. If you haven't got an Android phone, you will be able to get it by emulating an Android phone on your PC and downloading the game from the Play Store that way. I myself do not know how to do this, but Nolik will be doing a tutorial and showing people how to get the Android emulator, so we can have that ready for you. And again, I might follow along and play with that. I'd make a new account though, I think, because I think now I've played it a little bit, I could probably do a bit better at the beginning by choosing different units, because you get to pick a few different units at the start to get you going. But that's the only element that isn't RNG in regards to what characters you get. And again, the RNG is an issue. And as I was saying, in this game, RNG, if I didn't have this particular helmet, it doesn't mean I couldn't make a character still. Doesn't mean I couldn't have the build that I wanted. I could still make... Yeah, Dragon Bolt. Yeah, Dragon Bolt Vanguard. I will type it for you. That's probably easier. You can just search Dragon Bolt, it should come up. But that's what it's called for you. But yeah. Oh, I don't even care, I'll just keep things on me. But yeah, in Dragon Bolt, I can get a cleric, right? It's RNG to get the cleric, because you combine different units to make another one. I just took that to the face. But I can still get the cleric or whatever eventually. I can still get a paladin eventually, and combining those two will give me Wallace. And there is a matrix on the subreddit, the Dragon Bolt Vanguard subreddit, that tells you, I don't know if it's every single recipe for all of the named characters, but a lot of them are being done already, so you can have a look and see on there if there's anyone that takes your fancy. But yeah, you know, here I can still make a magic or a tech build without this helmet. In there, I cannot make Wallace without having a very particular recipe, right? And you could compare the characters on that to the emblems from this, but the emblems from this are collectible, right? So there's a very different element at play, and I think that's largely because the game is on like a mobile platform, right? So I totally get it. Like, I'm with you, fair enough, but there's a reason I don't play mobile games a lot, and that's kind of one of them. So I get that it's a different climate, but it's not a climate I get involved with, because I also think it caters to a different audience. and Sean has made efforts to put in again, content gating, so that like Candy Crush and whatever, you can buy your way to playing more often, because every time you're playing around, you have to get every time you play, like you go into a fight, you have to pay a bit of energy, and the energy, which is lightning, you get 5 of every hour. So in theory, you can do 5 fights every hour. However, you can also buy that energy, so you don't have to, with one of the resources in game. And this is the resource you can purchase with real life money or beat more content to get, right? But there's a limited amount of content in the game. Like, it isn't infinite yet. There is a mode that, well, like a level he hasn't introduced that I think might go on forever, but it might not. But if there's not an endless mode, there's no way to generate new magicite, new currency. However, you can buy the energy to play more often with that currency, and again at the start you'll get a lot of it because it's really easy. I've got tons of rings that are just all garbage. Or you can get these things called lightning potions that your characters can give you just at random. I've had so many of those that I haven't had to spend magicite on energy since the first day. And it is technically the 3rd day now, but I haven't played that much today. I played a little bit, mixed a few characters, and that was it. How are we doing? Level 5, alright. I might expedite this, to be honest. I might go to the Forbidden Arena and just run and get some experience on the shield. No, we'll do challenge level stuff, that's what we'll do. We'll bail here. And we'll go do challenge level stuff. But yeah, I'm okay with Dragon Ball Vanguard so far. I'm however many hours behind people because the hours that I've worked, and of course, oh hello, the hours that I've had to work and other bits and pieces have got in the way, so I can't say I've had as much time as, say, Nolik would have had. But I'm seeing people that like have played games with years ago playing it, and it's really strange. In fact, one of them I had to try and find, then remembered I'd actually had him blocked on Twitter because he was just annoying. And he was posting about playing the game in the subreddit, so it was like, oh, okay then. But yeah, that's how it is. Right, let's sell these. Drop that chitin off. I'll have this. And one more for good luck. And do I have a space for these rings? I do. I'll sort them out later. Oh, I didn't even need one more for good luck. Silly me. Oh well. Clickety click. Well, do need to go to the cathedral at some point. I dropped a stack, like an actual stack of all the stuff, and I know recently Jerry did this as well, so I don't feel too bad. Jerry being the Kawaii Lemons, for those that aren't in the know. So both of us have dropped stuff, and it's just been on the edge of the map, and we've tried to go through the level to try and catch stuff, and just couldn't. It is the... yeah, ectoplasm. I've got none. I dropped an entire stack's worth. So that was a mistake, but oh well, it's fine. Not too upset. Okay, let's do challenge level 1. Let's get my nulls. 26, unpredictable. I like it. And we're going to give myself a dark fire as well. I don't need it. It won't do that much damage for me. Oops. But I will take it because it's useful. Combat chips. Alright. What's my faith looking like? Probably not great. 43. Okay. That's fine. For now. It'll do. Extra damage reduction. Alright. This won't take a sec. Oh, did I pick the wrong place? I did. Whoops. Oh well, I've just lost 5,000 money. Creditos. Did I really pick Old Earth? I don't feel like I did. I must have done, but... oh. So I'm checking the VOD. Excuse me for just a moment. I must have done, but I feel like I didn't, and I need to check, because if I'm doing a bug post I want to make sure I've got everything, so got to do it before I forget. I must have done, genuinely just clicked Old Earth, but I thought I clicked the cathedral. Nope, no, it's definitely Old Earth, that's fine. It's because it's a similar colour, that's all it was. That's alright. We know what's happened. No problem. Let's quickly pause this again. That should be fine. Check the chat's doing okay. It's perfect. Right. Sorry about that. And let me have some money back. Click. Yes, I might actually grab something while I'm here, you know. Cluster Bomber 5. Let's grab that. I'm really low on champion badges. Sure, I'll grab half of them, why not? Because I would like Cluster Bomber at 5. That's not a bad pickup at all. Let's see if anything else is here. Might as well get not my money's worth as such, because you can't get anything extra for it being challenge level here. Inferno, I'm not particularly bothered by, but Enhanced Mind I am. I think that's it other than the stats that I wanted, which is going to be magic. Yep, 7's not a bad purchase. See if I can grab one more. Should be... Because I've come here, I don't actually need the Darkfire that I got, so I will get rid of it. Yeah, cool. Actually, I'll just get rid of it now. Goodbye. Cluster Bomber, Enhanced Mind. There we go. So yeah, the gimmick of this build, if anyone hasn't seen it before, and again, you probably haven't because it's... I know I've tried it, I know Rabbit's tried it, but it's kind of shit. Like, sorry to use such vulgar language, but it is awful. It's like on the level of garbage builds, but with Ultra Boss gear, which is really sad. Like, so sad. Which is really, really bad. So, unfortunately, it's one of those things that it doesn't work, and we want it to. More me than her, but yeah, I can't complain too much because it's still fun. I think that there's still not a niche because there isn't a niche for it, but I think there's still something to be said for it. But there you go. That's just the way it is. I've got to say, by the way, somebody claimed to have watched my videos, which is fine. People do that. That's great. I'm happy. Somebody was posting the Steam group, and I want to say pretty openly here, if you watch my content, right? If you're here today, you watch my content, you value what I have to say or what I have to do. That's great. Thank you, first of all. But secondarily, if you respect my opinion, I highly suggest you respect the opinion of Rabbit as well. She's very active on the Steam. She's on like the Steam group. She's not been so active recently, as far as I know, because she's not playing games as much. But yeah, at least in the Steam group, I've seen people sort of disregard what she has to say, which is kind of sad because she's got more time in this game than I have, like twice as much. So it seems ridiculous to me that people would kind of disregard her. It's nothing to do with her gender or anything. Like, it's nothing that significant, nothing that crazy. But it's like someone asked a question, disregarded what she had to say when she answered it in exactly the same manner as I would, with the same answers that I would provide. She's given them and is dismissed, which seems really strange to me. But this same person later on said something to the effect of, I'm doing garbage builds, like I'm doing this, like give me like a crap weapon and I'll make a build out of it. And they said that I was inspired by Chap Jackman, which is me. Hi. And then Jerry's doing something similar with the like random generator. So he randomizes which weapon he's going to get, and then he makes a build around that. So his choice isn't a dedicated thought process of like, oh, I'm going to build this in particular and make something that is pretty much useless into something that's okay. He's doing it in a slightly different way, which is fine. Again, neither of us feel like we're treading on the other one's toes. It's not something that we're particularly concerned with or about. But this person, I think, commented as Rabbit pried on a particular question and said something about, like, either me or Jerry, and they said that they didn't like Jerry's content, again, Kawaii Lemon's content, because he swears too much, and he prefers mine because I don't. And fair enough. Like, I try not to swear, but I swear, I'm like a sailor. I swear so much when I'm not on stream. It surprises some people, I guess, but, like, you know, some slip out, as the case has been today, but it's not like it's part of my vocabulary. There's, like, when I'm at work, for example, I don't swear in front of customers, but when I'm out the back, I will swear as much as I like with my colleagues. Like, we don't really have any limits on that. We just say whatever we want to say. So I'm kind of in work mode when I'm streaming and doing YouTube, and I'm more in, like, goof mode when I'm in other stuff. Which is why if you watched the Bubblegum Staff video, you'll see that we were messing around and I was kind of just goofing around and probably swore a little bit. I don't remember. I probably did, because that's just the way it goes. But yeah, trust me, don't take anything I say as like too serious anyway, because I am a jokester at heart. How much is this? 6. Perfect. I will buy you, sir. And that should round out this lineup. Pop. And yes, it does. Alright, so we got the build pretty much all done. It's going to be 95 per. No, it's going to be 190 per. Cathedral. Challenge level 1. There we go. Alright, why am I doing challenge level 1? Great question. It makes everything so much harder to kill because it has so much more HP. This is correct. But here's the deal. You can take it a lot slower in challenge level 1 than you can in challenge level 0. It sounds silly, but it is true, because these guys are broken. I don't know how long this is going to stay in the game. It is going in the bug suggestion, well, the bug fix suggestion patch list for Sean, which again should be released in July, and he should have it hopefully implemented by the end of July. But for now, if you are in the game and you do want to get fast experience, this is the place to come. And the experiments, which is what these guys are called, struggle wholeheartedly because in challenge level anything, so anything except the standard one, they do not move. In this level, because everything has so much HP anyway, you'll find that challenge level 1 is significantly easier than challenge level nothing because the HP increase is negligible and the enemies are more predictable because this one doesn't move. One of 3 enemy types in the entire level gives you no problem whatsoever. If you get damaged by one, you are an idiot. Please take note, if I get hit, I will fall to 1 HP. If I get hit twice, I will die. Null damage potions will mitigate, but not prevent that. And I will be using them shortly. But right now, I'm fine. Right, so here's one of the instances I'm going to use it. Pop one of those, pop on a bubble. There we go. So I'm going to use it here because I don't know where the Cthulhu's are, okay? And that happens. Okay, I know there's a rock somewhere. When you're on the same level as the Cthulhu's, they're not much of a risk. But when you're dropping down to them, they have more time to react to you before you can move again. So it's one of those things. You kind of got to know what you're doing. And you should be fine. But those instances are where null damage potions really shine. Because I would have died there. Or at least it would have been at 1 HP and very, very close to dying. Which, obviously, still high pressure. Make no mistake, it's a very, very high pressure situation. But that's the Cathedral in general. But if you're confident enough in how you move and how you can play the game, well done, you'll be fine. This build isn't finished by any stretch. You can see that. What am I, level 45? And I've got not even half the stats I should have, because not all my gear's even finished, right? These barely even gone. Like, yes, these are maxed out, but it doesn't change the stats. So, I mean, this is like a half-baked build. Like a half-baked bad endgame build is what this will be. But for right now, it's a half-baked build, you know what I mean? It's a quarter-baked build, so... make no mistake, the Cathedral isn't hard, everybody. That's news for you. It isn't difficult whatsoever. You just gotta know what you're doing. And yes, I will be doing more... Zero to hero stuff. I have no issue with this. but I have some stuff recorded, I just haven't uploaded it. I'll probably edit it in these 3 weeks that I've got. Quarterback build, I want that on a shirt. Yeah, why not? Go make one. Put it in Arial bold. Arial black. Bold. Beautiful. Just on a white background. But yeah, I don't feel as though this level is any more... But it is more dangerous, it's more high pressure, but it's not any more difficult than the other levels. Because I think the enemies are, outside of Cthulhu, pretty easy. And again, Challenge Level 1 solves a lot of the issues that are presented by the standard one. Hello, Cthulhu. Fortunately, Cthulhu does not have that much HP. For reference, the theory behind this build obviously is that I want to use this. That's the whole theory, but Cthulhu, yep. There we go. And I'm safe, right. The theory behind the build is that you use the gauntlet to stay at range, and that doubles your magic stat. Okay, I'm mostly a magic character. It seems silly, right? That I'm stacking so much magic and yet I want to use tech, which I completely agree with. But as the case may be, there isn't really a better race. You can use Brocolite if you'd like, but it's not as good. Because magic is my primary source of damage. And basically you use the tech elements as coverage. And there's a big thing in this game, right? And at least if anyone's going to read over the upcoming tier list, there's two major schools of thought in how to beat levels, right? There's bossing gears, bossing gear and bossing builds, and there's clearing builds, both of which have a place, both of which can do both jobs, usually, but this build kind of does both at the same time, which is kind of the point. It seems really silly when you look at it that way, right? Like, oh, it does kind of like a jack of all trades kind of thing, not so much a master of either. But by using the grenades from Cluster Bomber, which do tech ×2, and the magic projectiles from the Gauntlet, which do magic ×2, you effectively double the stats, your effective stats, for each of those two main stats for your build, from which you'll be able to do a lot of damage and save a lot of mana, because obviously this is one of the few weapons in the game that's good and doesn't eat mana. Okay, that's gonna hurt. Where you at, friend? Here you are. Right, so in theory, this has such a long range for a projectile. It's really good. That's nothing on it. That's just as is. There's no projectile range on anything in my build here. Again, I've got stam regen for whatever reason. But yeah, like, not a problem. Not hard. And then the Cluster Bomber allows you to do a bit more coverage. So you do this. I'm not in combat mode, but I am dealing damage. This is one of the things that very few few builds can actually do. Lasts for 10 seconds, does, 2 times your tech for every single shot. You fire 1 shot every second, so you do 10 times, your tech ×2, which is huge amounts of damage. If you do that on a single boss, that's great. If you do it against enemies out in the field like this, that's great. If you use your Gauntlet on top, that's even better, because you do so much damage so quickly. That's the theory behind it anyway. It's not great because, again, I wish, for example, there was a Gauntlet that scaled off of magic and tech. But of course, usually one's going to be higher than the other. So, as the case may be, this is still better. I wish there was more combat chips that be suited for both, but there is not. And you kind of have to choose one side or the other. So I've gone heavily magic based, because again, magic is the power stat. But again, I've chosen like the droids that cover both, instead of having one leaning slightly more tech, slightly more magic. That's purely aesthetic. A shield will be a more magic focused shield. There won't be any tech on it at all, actually, so we'll take a bit of a hit from that. But this will level up as we go, and that'll give me more tech stats. And I'll get tech on the armor as well, which gives me more tech stats, and I'll level up the rings, which gives me more tech stats. So as you can imagine, there's a lot at play. But that's it. like, the build, again, half-baked, quarter-baked, as it may be. That was a bit of a convention, wasn't it? Wow, there was 4 of them. Hello, Cthulhu. Hello, old buddy, old pal. Okay. I did not quite get the bubble off in time, but that is fine. We're alive. That's what matters. Hello, another Cthulhu. There was 4 Guardians, 4 Pringles monsters. Are they called Guardians? I think they are. And a Cthulhu. Just die already. There we go. Again, what I will mention, because this I don't really go over on the commentary for the builds, for like the tier list. Not too in depth anyway. Weapons are superior to combat chips. This is an undeniable truth. How do we know this? Because the builds that use weapons, not combat chips, are still stronger than the ones that do not. This isn't entirely conclusive. There is one exception in particular that I am particularly fond of. But the big thing is, weapons can crit. Critting is free. It doesn't do anything else other than add additional damage, and you can stack it up with your your mods, excuse me. So you can of course use those to increase your crit chance, your crit damage, which means you are infinitely stronger than using a combat chip of the same value, because that cannot crit. This is a bit sketchy. I'm watching for the rocks, is what I was doing, which is why I'm a little bit slow around here. There's one dead. Where's the other one? He's already dead. Okay, not bad. But yeah, if you can have a magic combat chip that does 2 times magic, so I think that's Inferno. Obviously, the drawback is it costs mana. Then a weapon, such as the 4th Edge Gauntlet, which has 2 times magic, the same scaling, but can also crit, which effectively increases the damage output, and doesn't cost mana, that is a better weapon. It isn't as quick, but it is a better weapon. It's just stronger. That's true. Disagree, and you are wrong. It is not an opinion, it is fact. So it's just one of those things. A lot of things in this game are like that. Mainly because only one guy's balancing the whole thing, but it's cool. Can't complain too much. It makes sense. Go here. Makes a lot of sense. Alright, I've got a ton of money now. So many credits. Uh-oh. I didn't realise there was 2 groupings of meteorites. Oh well, we can just follow this one out and we'll be fine. There we go. I knew there was like a set of 2 obviously going around, which means they come in pairs, by the way. Which means there was a risk of one being down there, but I didn't realise there was 2 sets of 2 pairs. Right. Alright, this is a good time. Goodbye, comrade. Oh, there's a set of 3. 2 sets of 3. Oh, we just the same one. Again, they're in a pair. You're nearly dead anyway, I'm gonna pop it. Oh, I'm good. As long as there's not a Cthulhu behind me! Alright. Chill out. Get away from me. It's enough. You've had your fun, Pringles guy. Alright. No problem. I was ready for it. I said, as long as there's no one behind me, and it appeared. I spoke it to life. But I was ready for it. Not a problem. Huge success. Very fine. Alright. Goodbye, experiment. Alright, what do we have? A couple more experiments. They're not jumping in unison, because I am jumping. See if we can get them. Jump in unison. Oh, I didn't do it. Well, you're gonna die then. Goodbye! Worst synchronized swimmers ever. Alright. I've got some more Ecto anyway, which is great because I didn't have any. I need to go and grind some more Ecto now, but not a problem. We have some to put in the chest. Oh! Recent reviews. New segment that I'm doing right now. Glow came out. Glow was a women's wrestling movement in the mid-80s, moving out into the late, to the beginning of the 90s. It was a show about female empowerment and removing the necessity for men in wrestling. Obviously the likes of the WWF, as it was once known, was huge at this time. There was stuff like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, who were forcing many people into the stands to go and watch these wrestling matches unfold. And it might not have been at the peak of its popularity, but it was certainly reaching it, and it was a huge acclimatization for the masses to take on wrestling as something massive in the late 90s and the early 2000s, which probably was the peak, with everything being like the Generation X nonsense, with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and Triple H and the Hardy Boys and everyone supporting. So, you know, Glow, which an acronym is what it is for Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Glow came out in like 1986 and lasted for a few years and made like a lot of money, made superstars out of these women who were forced to live lives of being the characters they portrayed. One of whom was called Dementia. She was like feared by so many people. There were women that came in tag teams, which is Chainsaw and can't remember the other one's name, but one of them used a chainsaw to cut stuff up and the other one set stuff on fire. So they had a lot of fun. It was very strange, very edgy, very gimmicky, basically cartoon comedy, but with live action with strange living conditions, but fantastic nonetheless. Netflix have just released a series sort of based on Glow. It's not an exact adaptation of what really happened, but it takes a lot of the stories of the women who were in Glow, the actual wrestlers, and turns them into characters, turns them into storylines, and, you know, makes a really good show out of it. The ending, I will say, was kind of weak, but for everything else, super fantastic. It's headed by Alison Brie, Mark Maron, both fantastic actors in this. They're both great in this. There is a significant amount of female nudity in it, which is okay for some. I enjoyed it. It was done very tastefully, I will admit. But, you know, it's something that's not for everybody. But yeah, it's a fantastic series. Genuinely had a ton of fun with it, and I'd recommend it to anybody who is above 18 and is interested in giving it a go, because there is some pretty raw language in there as well. But yeah, if you want to give Glow a go, please do. It's really fantastic, and I binged all of it yesterday, and I don't regret it whatsoever. It took me 2 episodes to realise Kate Nash was in it. She is an English singer, and that seemed a bit odd to me, but, you know, it went well. Good show. Well cast, well directed, well acted. Can't complain. Really well written, to be honest. Really well written. Alright, give me that stuff. Okay. Boop. Ooh, I wonder if that's still in the game, actually. Alright, I'm going to bail on this for a quick sec. We're going to get some more wealth trophies to save some space. And I'm going to see if, by any stretch, that there's still the bug for the Churchill Faust thing, because I can't remember if it was this patch or the patch before, although I don't think it was ever actually patched. But we shall see. So, get rid of... Oops, pressing the wrong button. There we go. Let's go and get 3 wealth trophies. Alright. Let's posit those. Very good. Right. I need to do the Church of Faust storyline. I'm on the Forced Apostle thing. Hello, buddy. Greetings, true believer. The Divine Prophet seeks your audience. Go to the Hollow Caverns. I actually want another one of these now. I've destroyed one. Alright. I will pop that on my bar in place of that just for a sec. Hollow Caverns. Please give me Hollow Caverns portal at the end. Alright. So, Darkfire is fine, especially on the earlier levels. It exists so that you can clear super fast and without much worry whatsoever. See this Sploopy? What Sploopy? Nothing has enough HP to stop me at this point, so it doesn't really matter if my stats are there or not. It's very safe, he says as he gets hit. But it is very safe. It's very good. Right. Hollow Caverns, very good. So. Hello, friend. I've met with Mr. Odin, yes. 100 ash and dust. Oh no, if only I was able to get them from right here. Hello, friend. Yeah, that's what we need. Perfect. Speak to Mr. Odin. Okay, and I will take some free experience on my shield. Yay. How are we doing for that? Not great. Anything else here? Open the chest, everybody. Always open your chests. It's like Christmas every day. Gotta talk to Odin. What want Tome Slice? This is good news. Visit him in the cathedral. Okay, so this step, you must do your part. Oh no, okay, I need to go talk to Winston first. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Move your big bum out the way. Hello, friend. Give me... Yep, cool. Perfect, now I can bail. So he's giving me the ability to access the cathedral. This is obviously to progress the storyline. I am currently level 6. Level 7. Excuse me. See if you got any chests. There's 1. There's 2. Very fine. Alright. So I need to quickly go in. Alright, so I've been told to go to the cathedral. Normally he gives you portal uses, but I've got plenty. But what I can do, I think, is go to Hollow Caverns again. Hello, Groot. Hello, friend. Oh, I did not expect to see you quite so quickly. There you go. Right. And again, most of the scanning from this is just from my magic. Because it's magic plus vitality for Darkfire, so I'm just using basically my magic all around me to just run around like a madman. Very good. That is a lot of meteorites. What's going on? What the heck? Do you want to chill out, game? Ow! Alright, Hollow Caverns again. So, I see you've made it to my cathedral. So this is a bug. Basically, the cathedral is a hard level for some. Because you don't know what you're doing. You've never been there before. And you don't know what to expect. You're probably going to die. But you're commanded to go to Cathedral. You are given portal uses to go there, but you can just come to Forced here. I'm really inconsistent in how I say Faust because I just don't care. But yeah, so it's beautiful, this cathedral. Alright, so again, this is all the junk, right? This is all of the junk. I have this choice. which will finish the storyline. Absolutely finish it completely. Or not. You know what I mean? It's not something that I'm particularly bothered with. I don't think it's a particularly significant bug, because people can do the cathedral whenever they want, and I don't think, from my position at the very least, that it's exactly a difficult level, but it is harder for some people, and you can just come here and avoid it. But again, this is a bug. It will be in the bug fix list. Again, this is something that, basically, this is a bug checking stream, by the way. That's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm starting a new character, of course. But yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, so again, if you feel like exploiting it, do it before the end of July. I don't know exactly when the patch will be, but there will be a patch, and it may fix a lot of these things, because I will be bringing them to Sean's attention personally. So let's have a look. I think I've done everything but the second one, so I might do the second storyline option. Let me quickly check allegiance on the wiki. Church of Faust. Church of Faust. Who really cares? Total spoiler. Option number 3. Elevated to level 9. You fight him in Mech City. And you just get it. I think it's option. I think I can bail on him, actually. I can just walk away. Let's have a look. Yeah, I haven't done the second one, so I've done the first one and the third. The first one being, I think you fight the creator. Yep. And the third one is that you fight him. Alright, so yeah, I'll go back to this. I'll show you one more time, because I think it does still work. What the? What's with Gru? Buddy, you need some help there, mate? Oh, thanks for the headphones, boy. Shout out to Nolik. Woo. Right. Oh, that was fun. Recently we trolled. I say we. It's become something of a small obsession of Rabbit's to look at on Twitch or YouTube and find people streaming Roguelands and watch it, because she likes the game, she enjoys the content. What's not to love? Let's watch people play the game and discover it. And, you know, maybe help out. So, Jerry and I followed along to one of the streams he suggested, and I went to sleep. It was like really late at night. I just went to bed and just left the stream on so I could fall asleep. And the fellow that was streaming recognized there was someone in the audience, like his actual viewer list, called Kawaii Lemons, and someone called Chap Jackman. So those, of course, being me and Jerry. And they jumped to the conclusion that we named ourselves after the hats in the game, which we just didn't correct them on. We were like, yeah, we definitely named ourselves after those, ha 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 ha. So we had a good time on that, just sort of obscuring the truth from this poor guy. Well, he knows now. He figured it out. It's fine. Alright. Yeah, okay, so I can just come back whenever I want. I want to do this. Refuse. Thank you. Very fine. Get dead, please. Thank you. Have that. Excellent. Boop. Alright, now I can go to Mech City and get pretty much nothing done, because it'll be fine. Boop, 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 doop, doop. And don't need this. Sorry, Colin. Save it for later, comrade. Uh-huh. That's it. You ready, everybody? I'm ready. I'm so ready. Mech City, let's go! Ah! Did it. Okay. So yeah, that's also really bugged. There's just not a fight. There is no fight. I got the badge that I didn't have. That's the only one I didn't have. Wowee! Done. So yeah, that wasn't hard. And I'm level 10 for Force Apostle. It's finished. Job done. Who cares? Who cares? Hey Odin. It's a shame I decided to leave the church. Yeah, I just left and took a badge with me. Just took it. It's mine now. It's on the wall. Very fine. Okay. How are we doing? Don't need you. just for reference, I am saving world fragments. I want to get an entire box full. So that's why I keep having to remove the emblems from there. Which I'm glad, because all of them except 2 stacks are now done. So as soon as that's filled up, we'll remove that until we get the first world fragment. And just a little bit of time to go, and we'll be done. Fantastic. Okay, so what time is it? It is currently 1:20 past. I've probably been going for about an hour and a bit. Okay, right. Sorry. Work want to talk to me. Whenever they want to talk, I'll just talk. Whatever. It's fine. He's going for 3 for 3. Being a scumbag. I'm not a fan. Anyway, I'm going to go and do the boring thing now because I do not really have anything else to worry about. Actually, I would like to make this challenge level 3. Not the right person. I wish the item trasher was next to the wealth trophy guy. Right. I'll need 3 more. Oh, that wasn't right. There you go. And click, click, click. Whatever. Challenge level 3, Forbidden Arena. Let's go. So yeah, I'm going to do the boring strat. I apologise. It's one of those things that kind of has to be done if you want a quick build. It's kind of sad, I know. Kind of exploitative, I know. Could well be removed. If it does get removed, I won't make many new characters. I think, and this is something that I know a couple of people agree on, a character dying in this game is not a big deal. It is now, kind of, given that the... excuse me, yawning. Given that the Ultra Boss gear is actually RNG focused, you know, it puts you in a really strange position. I don't think I care about any of these things. I really don't. But yeah, it puts you in a really strange position as a direct result of the Ultra Boss gear being RNG based and not something you can just craft. But the craftable gear means if your character dies, it's going to take you not long at all to get to the right level. And if you do challenge level 3 cathedral runs with friends, you can get from level 1 to 100 in like 20 minutes. So the stats that you gain now that those are fixed means you don't have to meter out how long it takes to re-level a character. You can do it really quickly if you have the friends and the means. It means that there's a lot going for the game. But it also means, you know, the downtime isn't very long, which is kind of weird. Because making a new character is so simple, so quick, so efficient. I am probably going to want tech on all of my weapons, or well, all of my gear. So where are my chips? They're here. I've got tons. Never mind, we're good. I don't need to buy any. I was wondering if I was running low. How many crit damage ones have I got? Crit damage 100. It's my crit rate ones that are lower. I'm fine. I don't need to spend any money. We fine. Alright. Let's keep on going. I know, again, sorry this is boring. It's got to be this way. Just so I can get these things leveled up and I can actually start to do the levels again. Rings again I'm not going to do. It's going to be the shield and the armor that I'm going to get to 10. Turn them into ultimate gear. And that way I'll have the stat spread I'm after, and then we'll actually start playing again. I feel like I do this a lot, because people always request that you start new characters whenever you play on stream. So I just do it. But of course this is part of making a new character, so sorry, I guess. Nice and shock. Oh, I can take off my Darkfire as well in place of this. Very good. But yeah, the bosses here, okay, maybe not all of them, but just Peggy is really hard. Compared to the Ultra bosses, I think Pegelda's probably still one of the hardest fights in the game. Not to say she's difficult anymore, because the null damage potion is just so strong, but you know, it's something to consider, right? Doesn't matter what I get because I just didn't care. I just wanted the beeping to stop. Another recent review for something I watched recently. Again, Glow. Fantastic. Watch it if you like. There's a little show called To Be Hero. That was an anime show. 12 episodes long. Each episode is about 10 minutes. So you can watch it in 2 hours if you really want to. I did. It's on Crunchyroll. To Be Hero ran and ended last December. Well, like ran from like September or November or something to December. It wasn't very long anyway. But yeah, 12 episodes, 10 minutes apiece. It's about a ladies' man, like someone that just like can just get any woman he wants, except the respect of his daughter, because it's Japanese and there has to be some sort of familial tie for it to be interesting. But it's he's given superpowers. Okay, he's turned from this normal guy who can get any woman he wants. That's kind of his superpower, right? He makes toilet seats for a living. His main capability is that he's, you know, attractive, and that he's well informed on toilet seats. But outside of that, he gets given superpowers because the Earth is under threat. So he's granted these superpowers, but these superpowers change how he looks. It removes what he was as a respectable human being, or at least somebody that was maybe not respectable, maybe it's the wrong word. So, you know, a normal human being in the place for having superpowers, right? And these superpowers grant him the ability to change how he looks instantly. It's not something he chooses to do, it's what his body does to him. And he turns from this attractive man into this fat, lumpy, old pervert who isn't recognised by his own daughter, and while he wants to say what's on his mind, he ends up just saying really perverse things instead, which puts him in an awkward situation because he can't explain what's happened to his daughter. He knows he's changed, but he has to disappear from her life for a while. But it's about his struggle of coming to terms with his new abilities, and he ends up living with his neighbour who likes to go commando. And there are aliens and stuff. It's great. It's a comedy show, like, so don't take it seriously whatsoever. But it's super, super fun. I really enjoyed that as well. A very different element than, say, Glow was. It's been a hot minute since I've watched any comedy anime, to tell you the truth. I guess Dragon Ball counts. I guess, because technically Dragon Ball was a gag show and still is, but it's like a shonen gag show, so, you know, there's that. I mean, Vampire Lad, was that what it was called? It was like the last one I could really remember watching, but that was really good as well. But, you know, recently I watched To Be Hero, and To Be Hero was goofy and funny and silly and crude and really well written, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Again, if you're into anime, you're into comedy, give it a shot. I'm a very, very big advocate for that show. I only watched it because I got a Crunchyroll subscription, because I got hooked on My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia, again, it's not exactly a similar title, but in the same ballpark. So the one got suggested, like To Be Hero got suggested after I'd been watching My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia as well, it's not finished, so I'm not going to do any sort of review on it, other than say it's really good and you should watch it. The characters in that are fantastic, super, super good. But there's no final verdict on it. It could all go down the pan. I doubt it, because it's been so consistent so far. The first season of My Hero Academia is 13 episodes long. The second one is currently 13 episodes and still going. They've just finished the first arc of the second season. I believe there's going to be 2 arcs in this season, and they've planted the seed for it, and have been for a while. So, yeah, I would highly recommend you watch it. Again, if you're an anime fan, go for it. Give it a go. Catch up. I did. I watched the first episode, got a Crunchyroll Premium subscription, which I haven't had in about a year, watched the whole show, caught up to date, and now I'm watching every week, because it's still being released every week. Same as Dragon Ball Super on a Saturday. The thing is, I can watch My Hero Academia when I come home from work on a Saturday, because that's the time it goes on, and I have to wait until 2 AM to watch Dragon Ball, so I watch that before work on Sunday. But yeah, my weekend was pretty good. You didn't ask, but I answered. How are we doing? Yay, nice and maxed out. And I'll take the shard. Next one. Boop. Alright, and now we're going to do the armor. I'll probably throw one in helmet as well, just to try and save a little bit of time. And in rings, of course. Of course. Of course in rings. And I'm taking a free experience when I've got it. I shouldn't, because I can get it faster elsewhere. But, you know, it's there. Why not? 800 a pop. Can't complain too much anyway. Agreed. Hey, how you doing, Jerry? It's your show. You have the picture of Chan on disco. So very, very fine. Watch it. Jerry agrees. Deposit some junk because I do not need this. Have you watched anything new recently, Jerry? Anything you would recommend to anyone? My recent recommendation has been Glow, To Be Hero, which is great, and My Hero Academia course. I haven't finished because it's not finished, but it's great so far, so it's worth watching. Boop boop. I think I just did this again and put it into shield because I was just in autopilot. I need it in armor. Boop. Also, aren't you at uni today? Oh, it's quite late, isn't it? Never mind. You potentially come back from uni today. I will have that box, this little chest. Very good, right. Also, have you played Dragon Bolt? I don't care. I really don't care what I get from those things anymore. It doesn't give me anything I particularly need, so I do not care. How are we doing? Level 5. Alright, should be 5 or 6 more runs. Maybe 7 more runs. It's been a while since I've counted them, to be honest. Closing on 64 Zoo Lane with the levels as well, though, which is good. Ooh. Oh, it's not those, it's the right ones I need. Never mind. Never mind. I checked earlier. I remember. Right. Yeah, I do want to pop one into rings and one into helmet as well. Because then at least, I think this only goes to level 5, but this will go to level 4, which is a lot more stats for free. Which I can take. Hey, not bad, I'll take a shard. Not like they're really easy to farm, but, you know, I'll take one. That's fine. Also, I think the shard sprite is kind of what Sean based the Magicite sprite off for Dragon Ball Vanguard, so I think that's trivia. That sounds like trivia. It smells like trivia. But it's a breakfast cereal. It's a Cookie Crisp reference for anyone who's big into cereal. Cereal today I did not have. In fact, I had a very strange day. Yesterday I was at work. Unfortunately, the buses... Oh, I need you. The buses... the trains don't run on Sundays all that frequently. So one of my colleagues could not get to work. So I had to get up... Even though I was at work at what was it, 12:30? I was working 12:30, 4:30 yesterday. I was working a close in the shop. I was at work for 25 to 11 because she couldn't get to work. So I had to give her a lift, which is fine, you know, happy to do it. I had to give her a lift because otherwise she wouldn't have been able to get to work at all. Darkfire now. Here we go. So, yep, happy to give her a lift. So I did, but it meant I had to swap my shifts to get her at work, and even then I was only 35 minutes late for the shift I should have had. But I was there for an extra 2 hours at the end of the day. 2.5 hours at the end of the day. It was crazy. Anyway, yeah, I had to go and do that. So that was fun. I passed the rail replacement buses, but they don't run at the same time or as quickly, or go through the same route, because obviously trains are straight lines between the stations and the buses are not. So the one I passed two when we went to fetch her. So there was one that I'd seen, obviously she just missed, or she would have just missed, and then another one on the way back as we got to work. So it was like, yeah, there was no way she would have got there in time, which sucks. I want the crit one. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Yeah. Sorry, my chat was frozen. There we go. You just started Drifters. How are you finished with uni? You're just waiting for your results? No way, man. That's exciting. Also very nerve-wracking. I did something really strange with my uni results, because obviously we do things differently. But I don't know if it was intentional, if I knew it was going to happen, but it got to one of my last assignments and I just didn't put any effort in, right? And I failed that assignment, which meant I had to resit that assignment. I had to resubmit it for remarking. But because I failed the assignment, it meant that I could resit another one for free, right? So by failing it, I managed to do a retest, which bumped my entire grade up by a bracket. Like, my overall grade by a bracket. It went from a fail to, like, 2 brackets up, which was incredibly good. I was like, oh, mate, I did it. And I don't know if I did it, like, subconsciously as, like, an intentional thing, because self-sabotage meant I could come out on top, because it meant I could buy 4 weeks of doing nothing before I was able to get a better result. But I did that, and that was cool. Hopefully you're not in the same boat. Hopefully you smashed it. Hopefully they're like, this man can use a computer. Take whatever the highest grade is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you get. Australia bucks. Australia dollars. Do they just give you money? They probably should. That'd be great. Yeah, via OS though. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it a couple of times, but Nolik is doing a tutorial, I think, on how to get an emulator on your computer for Android phones. So you might be able to play Dragon Ball on your PC, which means obviously you could stream it as well if you'd wanted to. So that's something you could maybe give it a go. I don't know. Maybe you'd be interested. I'm thinking about doing it. I'm not sure if Sean is still talking about it, but he did say something to the effect at one point anyway that YouTubers will be getting some Magicite, like the paid currency. He'll like help out the YouTubers that help him, as he has done with Roguelands as well, but obviously with like a paid thing in there, so people will be able to unlock more bits and pieces because they're YouTubers for helping him out. But I don't know if that's still going to be around, because it's not that hard to get the currency in the game, but you know, it's there. It cool. Money for passing, I'll take it. Yeah, be good. I'd like that. Armor. Oop. But yeah, it's not off the table for you just yet. I don't have the information myself, so I don't know how it works. I happen to have a Samsung, so I just play it. But I could start a new account and play it on stream. I don't see why not. It's basically bug fixing the game, though. It's basically more people getting involved and finding bugs than just like a few people on Roguelands that do it. But yeah, it's pretty much the subreddit is devolved into, look at this summon I got, wow, so lucky, RNG, haha, and oh, this is broken. I'm trying to confine mine to Twitter, because I know Sean gets it that way, and he obviously fixes stuff, which is fantastic, but we'll see about all that. Oh, sad, right. Alright, let's do one for helmet and one for rings, and then we will bail. We'll get one more done, not here, we'll do like another run somewhere else, just for a change of scenery to level this up to 10, and then we'll do the Mech City upgrades, which is going to be great. And then we'll focus on getting back to 100, which again is probably going to be Cathedral. Sorry. It's just the way it is. Well, it can't be Cathedral because I don't get gear experience. Ah! No gear XP, no thanks from me. That's what I always say. Shut up, Caius. Oops. I went in autopilot again. Never mind. No change of background. I'm sorry. Oh, sounds good. That's the Discord as well. Spammed with look at my ring of pull. Oh dear. I'm not in the official Discord anymore. I like follow a bunch of games on Reddit and stuff, right? Like Dauntless, which is a game I'm excited about. I bought one of the alpha packs, like the founders pack, so I can play the alpha in August. Is when it is. It's a week before the Guild Wars 2 anniversary, which is kind of sucky, but whatever. But yeah. Anyway, so I was on that and I bought this pack for it, and I was like, yeah, it should be fine. I'm very excited. I will play this game. Very good. Join the Discord, and that many people are on the Discord. Like, it's just a huge sea of people just posting crap, and I'm just like, I don't want to be here because there's so much going on. I can't keep up, and it was very overwhelming. So I just left the Discord. Like, I think every Discord I'm in, the most one of them has. I mean, it's like the Roguelands one officially with like 200 people, but no one posts in it, so it's nice. But yeah, like it's so busy and so like rammed. I was just like, nah, I'm good. I can survive. And helmets. Oops. Yeah, extra helmet I need. All right, excuse me, just a bump on the on all the stats I need, which is good. Let's put this crap where it belongs. Boop. 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 Alright, so you're maxed out, you need Aetherlight for one of them, and I think it's Aetherlight for the other as well. No, it's Darkened, okay. Prism time, Darkened, boop. Aetherlight, boop. Mech City, here we come. Hello. Hello, old friend. Is that right? What? How do I not have this? How do I not have this? What? Whatever. Oh, it's because I use sunlight. Never mind. I'm good. I'm an idiot. Everything's fine. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. And you are ultimate. That's fine. Yay. So yeah, sorry. There's a shield here, blood shield, that gives me magic and tech and vitality, and there's another one called sunlight, which gives you magic and faith and vitality. They give you 3 magic, 2 vitality, and then 1 in either tech or faith. They're really good because they're the best shields in the game. They're the one example, well, 2 examples of a shield that give you more stats in magic than even the 4th Age shield does. So these 3, the blood shield, the sunlight, and the 4th Age shield, are the only shields in the game that are actually good. Just for reference, they're the best shields in the game, and 2 of them happen to be magic focused. Yay! I did do a derp. I am okay, thank you. I was like, I must have had this. I must have unlocked this, and I hadn't. Again, you can see I don't really use shields very much because they're all kind of garbage. But yeah, this is also called Blood Shield, by the way. But yeah, I thought I was looking at sunlight, but I was making this one instead. Just me being a Dumbo. Everything's fine. It's a really ugly shield, but everything's fine. Matches my droids at least. Haha. Right, done these anyway. Blood Shield, Ultimate Armor. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'm fine now. Everything's okay. We're back to normal. I know where I made the mistake. It's Gucci. Right, let's do Cathedral. Let's do... Not what I meant to do, but okay. Come back. Come here. Yeah. Oh, I see what I was doing. Oops. Oopsie. There we go. I'm derping all the time now. It's just happening. Just me. I've changed. Let's go and do this. And quickly check everything's fine. Aha. Drink time. Oh. So yeah. Oh, I can't do Cathedral. What am I doing? I'm not fine. Help me! Help! Help! Right. There we go. I'm good. This is one of the fastest ways to get your money back. So I'm here now. Yay! Also, it's a very fast way to get a helmet. A very particular helmet. With an unfortunate stat spread. Which will never be referred to by its real name. Doop. Oh, 666 everybody! Woo, Infernal, number of the beast! Goodbye, friend. Right. What next? I don't know how that didn't hit me. Oh well. Pew pew pew! Hey! Get out of here! Where's Jonathan? I'll save you, Jonathan! So is this the Mitchroom Garbo build? Pretty much. I don't really... The way I described it earlier was that it was quarter baked, right? Because it's a watered down version. It's a half finished, watered down version of a watered down build. That's what it is. It's basically taking a magic build, like a good magic build, taking its essence away, adding tech in for no reason, other than it matches the armor, and then going, build, look at me, I did it! It's better than like 90% of the builds in the game, because 90% of the builds in the game really suck. Compared to the top ones anyway. But yeah, in terms of like an endgame build, if I can hit this guy ever, thank you. In terms of an endgame build, this is a garbage endgame build, right? So, garbage build asterisk is what it is. Kind of. Ah! Get away from me, Wyvern! I do not care for you! Ah, Jonathan, I'm coming to save you! Where are you, Jonathan? But yeah, I really like the Mitchroom stuff. Like I think it's the best looking armor in the game. I did once think it was a Sazel's set, but I still think this is the best looking armor in the game. It just sucks because nothing particularly good scales off it. There's no good races for it, which means it's going to be relegated to never being a top tier build ever. There's no way it can ever claw its way back. But I think it has its uses. I think it has. It's not really a niche because it's not something that this alone can fulfill. But I think the ability to do out of combat clearing like this is really nice, and I like that. So that's cool. Gimmicky as it may be, still does the job, and the damage output is fine. It's just fine. So can't complain too much. There are worse things in the game, obviously. I'd rather take this over pretty much any strength build, for example. But that's majorly because magic's so good. So that's just the way it is. Probably should have modded stuff when I was in Mech City, but I didn't. Oh well. Not a big deal. Can't complain, because I'm not really worried about it. Where's Jonathan? I want to save him. Jonathan! Ow! I must say, tomorrow I'm probably going to stream again. Purely because, again, no one's here. I have like 3 days to stream. So I'm probably going to stream every single day. I might stream more today. I'm not stopping right now. But at some point I've got to let the dogs out, probably pretty soon. And I also have to do some lunch, and I also have to do whatever else. So making sure things are fine, I'd have to take some time out and do whatever there. But I mean, when that time comes, you know, I'll disappear, I'll probably come back. But tomorrow I want to stream, but there's also the patch for Battlerite tomorrow, the new season starting, so I might play Battlerite tomorrow instead of Roguelands, because no one's seen me play Roguelands for a while, because I haven't played Roguelands in a while. But, you know, Battlerite tomorrow, maybe? It seemed to go alright last time I streamed it, so that's cool. Forsaken Mask wasn't nerfed, tech builds will be up there. Absolutely right. I mean, if Forsaken Mask wasn't nerfed, there would be no contest as to what the best build in the game was. Even now, it wouldn't be a contest at all, ever. Can't go any higher, sorry. But yeah, I agree. But Forsaken's Mask was. I don't know if you know this, by the way, Jerry. We haven't released it yet. I probably want to do it in the next couple of days. Rabbit and I worked on like a tier list, like an end game tier list, right, for ultra bosses. And there's something of a consideration that we had to give them ranks. So like S tier is like pretty high, A, then B, then C. And there's like a theoretical D and E tier, but it's not real. But if anything was ever SS tier, like truly the best, it was like Quadricopter. Like Quadricopter Inferno Spam. Like when that was a thing, there wasn't, nothing could hold a candle to it. That was more endgame than the stuff we have now, because that was just so good, and we had way worse races, we had no ultra boss armor, it was just better because of Forsaken Mask. So if there's anything has ever existed in this game as being broken, it was that. Because yes, it was stupidly good. Although I will admit that's kind of when I farmed Azazel and Bullfog. I haven't really farmed them since, because there's no need anymore. But yeah, that's what I used to do it. No regrets. Am I going to regret fighting Moloch? Maybe. Who cares? Please don't hit it. Rats! Get the stupid glitter bug, right. Ooh, Moloch, where are you? Hello, comrade. One of these, and one of those. That was a clean dodge. That was not, but there was one in there, so it's cool. Stop moving at me! Thank you. Stop moving! It's annoying! Ah! Damn squirm. That's not a squirm, is it? It's something else. Begins with a W. Willowwort, maybe? Something like that sounds right. Hello, friend. Hey. Why did your attack persist? There we go. Got him. Ah, the good old days. Exactly. What happened to those days, man? What do you mean the game got fixed? Oh well, not bad. We got him. We got Moloch. He is very dead. I have like a kind of like a... It's not perfect, right? But kind of the idea that whenever you hear, if you don't want to trigger Moloch, because obviously the Ents can, the Treants can, you should take the hit, right? You just walk into their projectile, because then they can't actually hit the Moloch embryo, whatever it is. So maybe do that, but like, you know, it's not a huge deal, I don't think. I really don't even know if that's a bug. You know, like, there are things in this game that I can never tell if it's intentional or not. Like, that's one of them. Are the Treants supposed to be hostile to Moloch? Because they can't hit him, but they can hit the embryo to trigger the boss. which could either be a very intelligent tactic to teach people how to trigger the boss, how to interact with it, but given that the only way to interact with things in this game is to press W or to hit them, I don't feel like it's a necessary lesson, especially on the last level of the entire game, but it is the only instance of a boss being spawned by a particular trigger that you interact with other than passing through or Lenny giving you tips on how it works. So I'm not sure where it sits, to tell you the truth. It's a bit of a grey area, but it is still a thing, right? So I don't know. I really don't know. Alright, I should put it into my armor next. Well, yeah, that one's a funny one. I'm not 100% on that. Don't think I ever will be. Ow, just dash into that. That was fun. I don't even care. I'm just running through the level. Where's the boss? I'll save you! I'll save you! Lava blob friend Jonathan, no! Where's the boss? There he is. Right. Come on, boss boy. Before I get too old, bud. Shut up, Wyvern. No one asked you. Thank you. Well, meteors trigger it too, so you think it's intentional. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, that's a good point. But is it? Like, Sean could just have forgotten about it. Like, genuinely, it doesn't happen every time I play, right? It doesn't happen every time I go through the level. It's not a rarity, but it doesn't happen every time. And with the amount of time Sean has to test the levels, especially once he's already finished, I don't know that he comes back here very much. I happen to know that he has like a test weapon that he uses and modifies the damage on it to just one-hit everything. So he doesn't need to dodge, he doesn't need to fight, he can beat any mob at any level, providing that he has this particular weapon. Because that's just the way that it is on the dev mode, right? But what does that mean for him? Does he just trigger Moloch, kill it, and go, yep, Moloch's working correctly? Does he manage to get lucky, not get it triggered by a meteor shower or by the treants, and then just finish it and be like, yep, working correctly, no problem? Yeah, anything is possible, exactly. I don't know. So there's plenty of things like that where I don't know if it's intentional or if it was an oversight. Like how there's two shields called Blood Shield. It's two items with exactly the same name with different item IDs and designs. It seems so silly. Like, he obviously put effort in to assign them different values and different sprites, but not different names. So I don't really know. But there's things like that aren't high priority bug fixes, I don't think, but are still things I have to question him on. So I don't know. It's bizarre, is what it is. I do still have Mr. Gifts. Oh yeah, I didn't catch your 100 episodes, but I saw that you opened a bunch of Mr. Gifts. Did you get anything good? Is there anything worth watching the video for, or did you just get disappointed on camera? Because honestly, I don't know which would be better. I'm sure you got something, right? Like, you must have done. It is on my to watch list. But it's not something I've got around to. Huh. You got 3 helmets. Winner. Alright, stop it. Don't do it. Ah! Alright, stopped in time. Thank you. Ah! Get away from me! Oh, what? Don't move at me! Ah! Ah! He mooed! More like Moolock, am I right? Haha! Ah! I need to heal. Back on task. Ah! He mooed again! Stop it! What if he's trying to tell us to move? You know, he's doing that old cow joke, right? Move. Very good. Shut up, you damn cow. Shut up, brother. Ah! Ah! I'm totally fine. I like to have a lot of control, and I like to fight Moloch on my own terms, but he doesn't scare me anymore. I think getting the caster sword build back when that was my baby, and doing this for the first time, Moloch, where you have to, I think it's is it the Trogon? You get the birds that you unlock by not taking any damage when you fight Moloch, and I had to do it with a caster sword, so I did that a bunch of times, and you kind of just figure it out. And Exodus is exactly the same fight, except it takes forever. So that sucks, but whatever. It's done. So, Jerry, the big J. When are your results coming in? How long have you got to wait before you can start applying to stuff and being a productive member of society? Or not? Your choice. I certainly procrastinate on that note, so no judgment from me. Huh. Give me all the stuff. There we go. Don't care about Caius. 7th of July. So you've got, what, 2 weeks left? That's not bad. Are you nervous? I probably should put it into rings, because rings will be the most effective use. You graduate on the 19th. Not bad. Graduation's a weird place to be. Click. Yeah, when I graduated, it was weird for us. I don't know how it's going to be in Oz for you. But at my uni, there was people that came to my uni from all over the country, right? And England is one of the strangest places in the world because you travel in 30 miles in any direction, and the people you meet will have a very different accent to what you do. So traveling that distance makes a huge world of difference. So I travelled 30 miles to somewhere called Stoke. Stoke has Stokies, they talk like this, and they say book instead of book, right? And I live 30 miles away from these people, literally 30 miles to the dot. And they talk like this, and it's very strange. And I'm not really sure why. And you keep going, you end up in Liverpool, and everybody talks a little bit different up there as well. And there's all these strange places. There's Manchester, there's Birmingham, there's London, Somerset, Dorset, a ton of places that all offer different variants and accents, different dialects. And so one of my friends is from Blackpool, and he doesn't speak to many people from my neck of the woods. So the people you interact with that are locals, when we were at uni, were all Stokies. They were all from Stoke, and they all spoke and said book and Luke and whatever else, said a book and look and such. So they always offered that to him, and he got used to it, but he never heard many people with an accent like mine, not more Birmingham, more West Midlands. So when he met my dad, he said, "Your dad is the most common person I've ever met. I want him to say more things to me." And it was weird to meet the parents of the people I'd known for so many years, like the friends that I'd made, and then being like, "Oh, these are your parents." That's so weird. And so the friend from Blackpool, he was raised in Blackpool, but his family are Greek Cypriot. So his family come from Cyprus, so his nan doesn't speak like a word of English, and she was there. And his mom obviously does, and we were talking to her, and it was like a really strange exchange for that, because it was such an odd experience to meet people that you'd heard of so much, but never spoken to. But yeah, it was cool. I had a good time, but it was weird, and I don't know if it's going to be quite as weird for you, but it might be. It could well be. I do not care about analyst rings. You can go away. I wish there was like a stat that'd tell you how many like things you'd thrown away in this game. So I'd have so many rings just floating off in the ether somewhere. Although, I know you've done it recently as well, Jerry, where you've gone to... oh wow, kamikaze! You've gone to like lift something around and you've dropped it and just lost a ton of your materials, right? I did that as well. Probably not. No, I figured like... I know there are regional differences in accents from Australia, but I'm not familiar with all of them. And I don't know how far away you have to go to see someone. Like, I'm sure if you go from Adelaide to Sydney, there's like distinct differences, but... I can't say for certain how well I'd recognise those differences, because honestly... It's Australia. But yeah, I think it would be a strange experience anyway, at least for me. Perhaps not for you. Ah! Ah! Get out of my face! Leave me alone! Can we talk about Jonathan for a second, right? Like, did he choose to defect? How did he become impervious to our attacks? Because the first time you see him, you're gonna attack him. Like, it makes sense, right? Like, you're like, oh, it's a lava blob, let's kill it. And he's like, whoa, chill, bro, I'm friendly. And it's like, how'd you learn space English? Who decided you wouldn't take damage? I know it was Sean, but what the heck, man? Sense make no. Comprende, friendo? Yeah, man. Get out of here. I don't actually know the answer to this. This would be good for like an interview for Sean or something, but I'm like 90% sure that Sean put Jonathan in the game to signify how proud he was of this particular sprite. Because it's like, he thinks it's ugly as sin, as far as I know, and he just put it in just as a joke to himself, I think. Which is hilarious if that is the case. That's what his Twitter makes it, like, seem to be, anyway. But there's probably some method to his madness. I should hope there usually is. Ah! These flamethists are filling up that inventory. They're taking up some space. Oh yeah. Oh, nice and calm. I like that. I will say, this is the track. It's called Fire Mountain or something. I don't know. But yeah, for this level. Get over here. I think it most reminds me of a RuneScape song. Like, it's not of any like song in particular, but it's the one that reminds me most of a song that would be on old school RuneScape. Maybe you can just only damage those with evil intent in their hearts. This isn't Fairy Tale. You can't do that. Ow! What the heck, bro? Yeah, what I might do this week, especially for the streams, is do Roguelands today. I think I might do Battlerite tomorrow, but I also might want to play a couple of other games, like things that I can just do in like a playthrough or two. I think one of them I might do, because I haven't done it in a hot minute, is Teslagrad, because Teslagrad had its sequel come out start of this month or like end of last month or something, and I still haven't played it, and I don't know why. I'm hoping it still stays in the Steam sale when I get paid and I can pick it up. But I have no way to know for certain, so we'll have to see. But it's called World to the West, and I think I want to give it a go. So I'm definitely having a thunk on that one, mulling it over a little bit. Just thunking, you know, just thunking away. I should drop that in there. Whoop. Oops, that one, then that one. Okay. I prefer to think that Jonathan actually has a superpower of some variety. 69, dudes! How are we doing? Nice and stats, I like that. Almost at 100. Hello, comrade. Ah, I did make it over in time. I wasn't sure, but I made it. But bam. But yeah, Battle Right tomorrow. New champion coming out. There's a bunch of new skins. There's a skin for my main. Oh, so excited. Alright, your internet's dying. I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Alright, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I'm sure we'll catch up soon. If I don't, though, good luck with your results. I hope they are everything you wanted and more. See you in a bit. But yeah, man. My main, right, in Battle Right. His name's Varesh. In all the... Last week... I said last week, it was like last Thursday, Friday. I played a ton of Battle Right because of the new patch, they're adding a bunch of new skins, and the way you get new skins is by opening chests. Again, skins have no bearing on what characters I will play, except some of them I will not play if they look like garbage, and some of the skins make them look really good, so I will play them if I have that skin. I bought the early thinking of doing a Final Fantasy XIV stream when you get home from work. That could be cool. I've not actually seen much of Final Fantasy XIV with the new updates with Stormblood, so I might have a look into it. Let me know if you stream. I might check in. Well, yeah, Varesh, I did like a huge tryhard thing because of there's new skins and new chests, and so I'm just getting all the chests before, like, spending all the money because they're changing how the currency is going to work in the game, and there's like big changes coming. So I kind of want to get as many chests as possible before the patch hits. And one of the ways you can get chests is the season rewards. For getting to a particular rank, you get a certain number of chests. And the peak I've been at is platinum, so I decided I'll re-attain platinum. I got it in season 2. I didn't play ranked in season 1 because I didn't really play in season 1. I played before season 1, before ranked was a thing, but I didn't play in season 1. I played back when casual was the only game mode, and then season 2 and season 3. But I didn't play ranked for season 3 at all, and then it's ending, so I decided, you know, within a week I'm going to get to plat. So I did 2 rush days of get to plat. The first day, Thursday, was awful, truly tragic. I had awful win rate. Got a 58% win rate or thereabouts on Varesh. It sort of varies either way depending on how well the day's going. You put it in the Discord. Oh yeah, that's fine, no problem. That's great. But yeah, so Varesh, I played. You know, I had a huge loss streak on day 1. I played my placement match, just one. If you play the season before, your placement match goes down from like the 10 or 5 games, whatever it is, to see where you are roughly, and just puts you fairly high up compared to where you were before. So I got placed in gold 2. Gold 2, it was. No, gold 3. I got placed in gold 3 and then got up to 2. And then just lost tons, and I was bouncing around between gold 2 and nearly gold 1, and then back down to the bottom of gold 3. So I was bouncing around tons on the first day, and it affected my win rate overall by like 1%. But then Friday, I put the time back in, and I went 3 games, like 3 games on a win streak. You get extra points for a win streak. 1 loss, then 3 games, also another win streak. So I played 7 games and went from gold, like low gold 2 to platinum 8. So I'm stopping there. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to decay or anything, so that's fine. So all I'm going to do is take those free chests and get new characters. But the character Varesh that I do play, the one that I'm actually trying to talk about, that's just the context. I saw in all of my ranked matches, all of the league matches I played, one other Varesh. One. I probably played 30, 40 games. Maybe thereabouts. Probably closer to 30, but, you know, I played tons of games and I saw one other Varesh. And I played Varesh every single game. Like, he's not a common character, but when I beat someone with him, they often accuse him of being OP, but I never see him. So he's not, clearly, like, he's not good. But I play him, so he's mine. I have a history of doing that, where I play characters that aren't particularly good in games, especially competitive games of that nature, because they're characters I enjoy. And getting good at them makes me feel better than being like, oh, I'll follow whatever the meta is. Because guess what? Meta game is there for a reason, but you're playing a different game. You're not playing the same game. You've got more rules on top because you have to abide by new rules as regards to who do I play, who is the best, what does the most damage, what's the best rotation, stuff like that. And things like that are indicative of like good players by being able to recognise those traits, but not acting on them and thinking of your own accord, I think is more recognisable as a trait of a good human being and a good gamer overall. So like in Smash Brothers I play Ike, he's like middle to low tiered, but he's my boy, so I don't care. In Battle Right, Varesh isn't even a consideration at current. They've changed him that much with buffs and nerfs and stuff that he just doesn't have a place right now. But he's been out since the game launched, since Battle Right, which is like a new chapter of Bloodline Champions, is the tagline, because Bloodline Champions was an old one. There was a character that Varesh is based on, basically, right? And he was okay back then, but Varesh now is just kind of garbage, like no one plays him. But I love him to bits. He's super, super fun. I love him. And I kind of want to hope that I'm okay. And again, like a 70, but not 70, like 60% win rate. Or, you know, it's 57, but rounding up, like 60% if I'm having a really good day, I think is, you know, fair enough to say, at least where I am, which is gold, platinum level, I'm doing good. I'm okay. So that's good. It means I should be able to climb higher. Although I don't want to put the effort in, because if I lose, just go on like another bad day, I might lose the chest that I've already secured. But he's been out since the start, and he's finally getting a legendary skin. And that shouldn't be significant. That shouldn't be like, oh my god, finally. Because the game is like in beta. Like, I think the characters that have been around for long enough should have them already. And what they've done slowly, like the developers, Stunlock Studios, have gone through and done, is taken the original champions and upgraded the visual fidelity, made them look better, remodeled them. I've already done it with Freya, which is the first. I've already done it with Ashka, who was the second. And now they're doing it for every character, 11 of them, I think exactly, that's getting a new legendary skin. And they're adding them all in a big patch that's coming tomorrow as a big summer patch. Resets everything to Season 4. And so the best thing I can do, other than drop my phone on the floor, excuse me, and turn my Wii U on, what? Go away. Disappear. Go off, Wii U. Go away for now. Turn off. What are you on? Go. It's not turning off. Okay, whatever. I'll leave for a minute. But yeah, the best thing I want to do is get that Varesh skin. But the thing is, right, they announced it's coming, but still haven't shown it. I'll have to see it tomorrow, which sucks. Because they've shown off like 5 or 6 of the new legendary skins, which looks great. Like, yeah, that'd be cool, man. That's going to be fun and cool. Look at these skins you made. But they've announced they're working on like 11. So like half of them haven't been seen. And it makes me kind of sad, right? This character's been out for the length of the game's existence. But he hasn't a legendary skin. Nobody plays him. So no one's going to play him if he doesn't get a legendary skin. Now he's getting it in bulk. And they're not even going to reveal it until the day it happens. Which is really sad. I'm like, what? No, give me Varesh. Give him to me. And it makes me real sad, but hopefully I can get it tomorrow. I have, I think, 7 gold chests so far, 1 legendary chest. You get those from getting the characters to high levels. The max level's 20, and I'm level 18 on Varesh. But yeah, I've got, 18 levels down. That's great. Close to getting a title with him, which is really cool. But yeah, Varesh, super fun. I like him a lot. And hopefully the skin's really rad. Not sure. Anyway, let me do actually put things. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna say let me put things away. I'm not even at the right place to do that. Who cares? I'm gonna put all my stuff away in here, and what I'm gonna do is go and not feed the dogs. Let the dogs out, make sure they're okay, and then I'll be back in a few minutes. I just want to make sure the inventory's sorted before I do that. But I'd rather let them out so they're not gonna just like wheel over the house. Well, I'll put some music on while I'm gone, so I can listen to it as well, because I'll put it on my wireless headphones. Waha! Right, put that in there. Boop. 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 And boop. Right. I'm gonna turn down the music on here. It was on 2 before, so I can remember that. Let me plug in my earphones. Like I said, it'll be just a moment or two. I'm going to feed the dogs, not feed the dogs, let them out. I'm thinking about food myself. But there we go. Give me a moment and I'll be back in a sec. I am back, hello. I hope your dungeon is going well. I hope you enjoyed the musical accompaniment by Plumtree. Right. What do I need? More experience. What I'm get? Shield and such. But yeah, all the talk about Battlerite gets me very excited, but I'm still not sure what time the patch is meant to go live tomorrow. But there's a new character, which I think I briefly mentioned, but she's a new support, and I kind of want to learn support. Like, Varesh is a damage character, traditionally, but the people that I play with at a casual level, right? I play with my friend Warren and his friend Dan. You know, they're both newer to the game. Dan's really good. He's only played for like a week. He's fantastic. I saw the best 1v1 outplay I've seen in next to forever. It was off the heels of like a really big fumble, but it was fantastic. I got it clipped because it was so good. But like, that was such a good game that we had the other day, and I'm just trying to learn support so I can kind of play serious. I jumped into that so badly. Oh, lots of attacks. Oh god, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm free. It's fine. But yeah, I kind of want to play Paloma because again, her new skin, her new legendary skin, is beautiful. Nothing shy of gorgeous. And those sorts of things, if I can get them, I'd be so happy. Like actually, I'd be so pleased. But I'll have to wait and see if I can get one. I'd love it if I could. I need to sneeze, man. Oh gosh, that was rough, real rough sneeze. You're queuing up. You need the peeps to run it. I see. Ah, that sucks. Screw queues, man. They suck hard. They suck real hard. Hello. All right. Again, I might have to have a look into Final Fantasy XIV, because apparently they made a lot of changes and it's good, but I don't know. I've never really been big into Final Fantasy, so I don't know that much about the world. So, that's it. I mean, Guild Wars 2, I played the first one, and I learned a little bit, and then Guild Wars 2, obviously on its own, the lore in that game is fantastic. They do a lot to sell you on the new lore, while introducing you to the older stuff, like, really well. But that's only 2 games. Like, it's always like the same outline as far as I'm concerned. There was just a time skip in the middle. But you know, there's that, which I completely understand. Like, I know where things are going, I know where things have come from, and I respect it. But Final Fantasy, I'm like, I tried to play the first one, it sucked. Don't really care to try the others, even though I hear great things. A lot of turn-based games I don't care about, which is really sad because Pokemon's like my favourite franchise ever. Not my favourite game ever, but Pokemon's a turn-based RPG. I lost my mouse then, sorry. Pokemon's a turn-based RPG, something that I normally hate. Genuinely, that's why I had a lot of apprehension about Dragon Ball. It's still odd to me. It's different, but it's still odd. But you know, it's cool. Fair enough. Whatever. Get dead, please. Thank you. Also, goodbye. But you know, that's strange. That's odd to me. It's good. I was told all about all that, and they've changed. Oh, well, all about that they've changed. Okay, I see. Yeah, I'll have to look into it, but I really don't know anything about Final Fantasy. Like, you show me a Chocobo, I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. Show me a summon, and I'm like, I don't care about those at all. Because that's just the way I am. Okay, do I want to keep doing Plaguelands? Not really. Let's go back to the Molten Crag. Hello world, don't care what I get. Spachoo, very fine. Let me pick this up. No rings, but I can put things away. Oh, did a quest. What quest did I do? Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Go me. Yeah. Ooh, mystery gifts with 10 Cham-Chams. That's not bad. That's a good exchange rate. We'll do this run, then we'll go and get the Cham-Chams then. Click, click, clickety, click. And that one. forgot you. Keep the rest on me, because I don't really care. You just recently got it. Yeah, I don't know anything about the class system. I assume you can just play humans, but I could very well be wrong. And again, it's not a problem if you can only play humans. But like, I feel weird with MMOs because I don't spend a lot of money, right? But I spent a lot of time and a little bit of money to find MMOs to play, to fill voids in my heart. So Guild Wars, because it's buy to play, I have a not a love-hate relationship as such, but I have a relationship with Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars as a whole, as a franchise, because I paid for it once and I know I'm going to get the game, right? And I spent 2,000 hours in that game. 2,000. The way I usually convert value, right, out of something is how much money I would earn not monthly, hourly. So like an hourly wage, and then how long I actually spend playing it, right? So, Guild Wars 2, if I were to take my current wage, right, just minimum wage here in the UK, for example, is like £7. Like I paid a little bit over that, not a lot, but you know, so call it 7, because it's roughly around there anyway. So call it £7 an hour. So that £7 an hour means if I buy a game at £50, I have to play for about 7 hours to get my money out of it, right? So if I buy a game and I spend 7 hours and it costs me £50, I've earned my money back. As far as I'm concerned, that's money well spent because the hours I put in, like that cost me to put in, I work an hour and I play an hour, and that's a net loss of nothing. So that's fine. Anything I play above that, so anything after that 7th hour, I'll begin to earn money back. So if I play a game that costs £50 for 8 hours at £7 an hour, obviously that puts me from £49 to 56. And 56 means I've then earned money back on something I paid for, right? I spent that much time on it that it made it worth it. You get what you're saying? The only MMO you put time into was Wakfu. I saw the anime for that, or the show, whatever it was. Yeah, it was turn-based, kind of burned you out. Yeah, not a fan of turn-based stuff. But MMOs, I always think I can sink tons of time into MMOs, right? Like, 'cause that's how it works. So, Guild Wars 2 is the MMO I've played the most, arguably. I've spent upwards of 2,000 hours. That's on my main account. I own 3 accounts. On my main account, I spent 2,000 hours. So, if I'm doing exactly the same math, right? 2,000 times 7 is 14,000. Right? £14,000 is what I value my time in on Guild Wars 2. £14,000. It didn't cost me that much. I spent lots of money on the game, I will not deny that, because I bought cosmetics pretty much every time I log on. I go, that's gorgeous, I need that. And I buy it and I never use it. But I don't mind spending that money on the game because I spent 2,000 hours and I value my time at £7 an hour. Like, whatever I get paid, that's what I value my time at. So that game, no matter what, I put so much time into that game, it's worth every penny I could ever spend on it, because I don't think I'm ever going to spend that amount of money on a game ever, right? It's worth, but genuinely, the time I spent on Guild Wars 2 has paid for the time I've spent on all the equipment for my computer, all the equipment I've had for, like peripherals, components, the game itself, because I bought my not this PC, the PC before, because I wanted to play Guild Wars 2. My laptop that I had prior could not run it. I bought a PC for that game, and I upgraded my PC for that game, pretty much, right? That's crazy. So every single thing I've spent for my computer has been for Guild Wars 2, and it's still earning money for me. That game, I've spent so much time, it's fantastic. And because of the time invested, like the cost sunk fallacy, I've spent so much into it, put so much time into it, it's more valuable to me than any other game that I've ever played, right? How you doing, Coop? To that end, Guild Wars is fantastic, and I understand a lot about that game, how to play the game, I have a lot of characters in that game, and I love it. But I want to find other MMOs because I'm not always playing that game. It's been out for, what, it's been 5th year? The 5th anniversary is going to be this year? That sounds right. So, I mean, in 5 years I've spent 2,000 hours on a game, right? Call it that. That means the time that I'm not playing it, because I'm not playing it all the time, the time I'm not playing it, I'm playing something else. So there are games like Roguelands and Teslagrad and other such things that fill the gaps, but to the same end, MMOs are still something that are very addictive, very fun, and if you find one that is good and keeps you interested, that's great. So I've bought and played WildStar, I bought and played ArcheAge, I bought and played... I didn't do BDO, I skipped BDO. There's one recently that I did, I can't remember. Albion Online. There's stuff like Warframe, which is technically an MMO. There's stuff like Dauntless, that's likely going to be kind of like an MMO. And all these games that I've spent money in, like founding or getting in on the ground floor with, that aren't finished, aren't out, and like I haven't been able to put those hours in, means I'm like reserved about it. But you know, I spent tons of money on RuneScape as well. Like, it's not just exclusive to Guild Wars 2. But MMOs, I'm always looking on for good ones. But from what I'd heard originally, like, Final Fantasy wasn't going to grip me because I don't have anything invested in that universe. But you know, if the gameplay is good enough, whatever, I'll play it. WildStar, I played for. I got a character to max. Was expecting to go into raiding, and the ability to raid was locked behind so much nonsense. That in the end I just gave up. I could go back to it probably, but I don't have a password because I tried recently. But yeah, you know, there's plenty of games I own and have accounts active on that I just don't play, right? Which is kind of sad, but it's the way I am. Can't complain. Can't change now. Supposed to have a game, got rained out. What were you playing? What were you supposed to be playing anyway? Also, I wish we had your rain. We don't. It's rained a little bit yesterday, and that was it. That's as much rain as we saw for quite some time. Stupid heat wave. Oh, that was an interesting pattern of attacks. Hiya! Sayonara. My inventory's full already. Whew. So zany, so weird. Come here, friend. But yeah, I will say, because I spent 425 hours before I started streaming today on Roguelands, right? This game has probably got one of the highest cost effectiveness ratios of any game I've ever owned. Because I got it for like £10 or £8 or whatever the hell it was, so it was literally an hour's worth of an investment. Call it that, right? £8 or whatever. So one hour it would have cost me to get my money back out of this game, and I've done 400 times that. 400. And again, Guild Wars 2. I bought the key, not the collectors initially. I bought the deluxe game, which was like 60 quid, maybe 80 quid, and then I spent a lot of money on cosmetic stuff, which, thinking about, probably equals upwards of £300. I don't know how much. Like I said, it's spread over 5 years, so it seems like a lot. Like, it's probably more than that. I'm misremembering a lot of stuff, but you know, even if I call it, you know, it's not this high, but call it a solid 1,000, right? Like, it doesn't seem that much spread over 5 years, but I don't spend £200 on it every year. It's probably about 400, maybe. But yeah, you know, call it an even, because with the expansion and stuff as well, and I bought the game 3 times. Probably the cost of putting into Guild Wars 2, call it £600, right? I've got 2,000 hours out, so my value is 14k. But obviously, as like a multiplier of the 600 I've spent, which again isn't an accurate number by any stretch, it's just a guess. You put the 600 into 14,000, I mean, what is that like? You put it into 20 times, and then an additional like 3. So yeah, about that. So call it 23 times over. But with this, the cost effectiveness was 1 into 400 something. So you can't even imagine how much value for money I've got from this game. It's incredibly good. I wish I could buy more stuff for it to reduce that cost, like more slots and stuff for the inventories and whatever, more character slots, but it's not on the cards, which kind of sucks. Oh, you've been to play baseball? That could have been fun. Oh well, sorry about the rain. Like I said, I wish it was here instead of there. You played Dragon Ball and got to face me in the arena, and I destroyed you. Don't feel bad. I've had not a rant on Dragon Ball, but I don't think the game is competitive, really. Not yet, anyway. I'm literally in the arena because it was fast experience initially, and now it's a good way to get gold. That's it. Oh, I'm sneezing like a madman. But yeah, don't feel bad that you lost. I didn't. Obviously, it wasn't me controlling it, so. But hey, thanks for playing. Let's go and sell some junk. I don't need to be here. I'm struggling a little bit with the arena stuff in general because the time zones aren't very good for me to be able to remain high on the leaderboard. I can do it in the morning when I wake up, or I can do it just before I go to bed, but that's not always going to be around about the 12 to 1 AM time period where things get reset. So all I can do is try and place pretty high in the day and then hope that I don't lose all the progress before the end of the day, and see where I end up. That's it. That's all I can do. So it kind of sucks for that, because it is tailored for an American audience, and I think you're in a European country, that you like Germany or somewhere, aren't you? Correct me, please. But yeah, it's like, what do? If it's tailored towards a specific place, because again, there's only one server running it, right? Because it's tailored towards a specific place, it means everyone else kind of has to struggle, and I'm in that ballpark, which really sucks, but whatever. There are worse things. Again, it's just free stuff. There's not enough people playing the game currently for the arena to be that competitive, because everybody that can do PvP at least a little bit every day will get additional mystery gifts. Will actually get rewards for the time they put in, even though you don't have to put that much time in at all. So, you know, there's that. But and this was my main complaint, when the only way to get characters is locked behind RNG or the ability to get certain materials, right? And even then, if you get the Bazaar upgrades, what is it? You can have up to like 7 items in the Bazaar every day, and that's it. I think that's the max. And even if all of those were characters, there's no way you could buy all of those on the first day, the second day, the third day you're playing the game, I don't think. Because you're not going to have enough materials, even if you have a way to get those materials, because there's not exactly a way to get that easily, with outside of playing the game and having good characters already. So you have to rely on Magicite to get summons, not get weapons, and then get characters instead, which you can then mix to make better characters, then transfer all the assist spheres and the defense spheres and the attack spheres onto a particular character to make the best character you can, and then level them up. So there's a lot of processes that go into making a good character, of which I have none. Right, I have characters that are high level, I have characters that have good defense spheres, good levels, good star ratings, good everything, but they're not perfect, because they aren't customized, they aren't finished, they're not max level, whatever. The only way the game can never be competitive is if you've done all that, right? The only way the end game can exist is if you can somehow reliably get every single character to then mix the units to make better units. Which doesn't exist right now. There's no way to get a paladin, there's no way to get a cleric, it's all random, unless you can buy them from the bazaar, which again is time gated, which sucks. And then you have to mix, you have to know what characters to mix to make specific characters, and then get duplicates of characters, or duplicates of characters with different assist spheres and different star ratings to be able to then combine them into a good character, then level them. So if someone out there has done that for one character, somehow been lucky enough to get every single role they needed, and make one character that's super powerful, they have a level 50, level 50 Blaine or whatever, and he's just there killing everybody. He's doing great. He's got a great weapon. He's got whatever else. Like, he's doing perfect. That person will win. Like, outside of having like 2 great assists, and having your characters laid out in a very specific pattern when you start the PvP, there's no way you're going to beat that person. That person has the perfect character, right? And they only have one. But if that person already only has one, it means it's going to take them more time to get the next and the next and the next and the next, up to 5 before you can have a perfect, quote-unquote, perfect party. So I don't agree that it's competitive right now. Right now it's just sort of like whoever's fighting for the top spot, they're just the people who spent the most time in the game, or potentially spent the most money to get more Magicite. I don't really see a competitive flair to it at current, because there's too much RNG, and that means there's too much inconsistencies between the player base, on top of the time zone differences. There's a notable skill gap in the arena, from one shots to the enemy being killed by one. Yeah, I don't think that's skill. I think that's just how everyone's rolled the same dice, and they've landed on different things. That's it. I don't think that it's particularly like, oh, you are better than me, insofar as the person who's playing PvP can control what's happening. The person who's not playing PvP just has AI do it. Right? They're on the leaderboard, so they can be played against, but the AI works to do what they're attempting to do. Right? So I don't think that skill's got anything to do with it, because obviously you don't do it. Like, losing in the arena does not like remove points from you. So there's a lot of people like me, right, where I don't have very high level characters. I think my highest level is like 32, and then everyone else is lower than that. So I've got a couple of like 28s, like a 30, a 32, like then 22s, then it trickles down. But I can say be more skilled than somebody, play smart, and beat them, and that'll give me enough points to progress up a few ranks. Then anyone that was below where that rank is, below the points I've been issued, right, because you get points every time you play, they'll move down. It's not about being better than somebody, it's being able to outsmart AI and move them down. But because people like me exist, where we have low-level characters, we can go into PvP, fight whoever we want, hopefully come across someone we can beat, and again, this will be someone else with similarly low-level characters, then take their place, which knocks everyone else down, which means I could be somebody with a level 32 max character, and somebody else has got level 42 max character, but they're below me in the rankings because I beat the people that haven't fought them. I beat the people that just get higher up by beating the weaker people in there. And you won't see a big difference until like the top 20 or so, which I've still never breached. I got to like 32 and left it around there, like around 30. But it was like 60 by the time it ended. But you know, there's like a big spread of different character levels, and that's what wins the matches. It's not necessarily skill. But yeah, obviously you can take a character in and it'll get one shot because the other character is so much more powerful than you. But that's just the AI recognizing you have a character with 9 HP and I have a character with 16 attack, which means if this character attacks that character, your character will die. That's all it's doing. Obviously, it takes in this little trinity into account, meaning red beats green, beats blue, beats red. So it takes that into account for the rock, paper, scissors element, and then tries to move around that. But again, my biggest issue, instead of skill, I meant that users have a gap in the... Yeah, that's right. Character power is too much. Yeah. Absolutely right. But my biggest complaint is that you can't choose where your characters start. Because that is another random element to the game, it means that you can have a type advantage somewhere. You can have, you know, blue beats green. Red beats green. So you can have a red character at the front, but then somewhere down the bottom is your druid or your cleric or whatever heals your characters, and that character cannot be helped. That character is on its own, because you have to sacrifice something else to let that take damage to protect the one down there. If it's an assist character, you can't really move them up very easily, because you're not always going to get a move, because if you move a character into a different lane, as it were, like a different row, and there's no enemy in that row, you don't attack, you lose your turn. So defending characters to use them to beat other ones puts you at an inherent disadvantage, which is really, really bad. And because you can't choose where the characters start, it's random, which means even if you could beat me, like, you know, even say I could beat this level 50 guy by using all of my characters to attack the level 50 and take out all of the trash, like, the only way it would happen is if he got a bad rotation for where his characters got placed and I got a good one, right? It's not fair in any way. The AI can only go so far as to go, all right, this is how I'm supposed to move, this is what I'm supposed to do, attack the weak ones, use the type triangle, and just move around. That's it. But as someone who's trying to play against that AI, you can recognize, oh, they're going to attack this thing, but in some situations, you cannot stop that. Sometimes you have to lose your hardest hitting character because you can't save the hardest hitting character. And if you try, you're still going to lose because your hardest hitting character is either instantly dead or relegated to an assist position until they get to a point where they have to be brought forward and are still immediately dead. It's really difficult for that to be balanced in any way, and obviously that's why it isn't. But I'm sure Sean accepts what it is, and it creates artificial difficulty, which again might make people more inclined to buy from him, which is, of course, is the business model. But from like a PC gamer's point of view, where balance is king, where you play League of Legends, when you play Battle Royale, when you play MOBAs, shooters, whatever else, if something is significantly more overpowered than another, you find yourself frustrated because you have no easy counter to that. There's no easy way to play around it, which is why we see, things being evened out in games, trying to make it more fair, removal, debuffs, buffs, whatever. Things are trying to be more equal, more balanced all around. But in a game like that, where balance can't be attained because there are too many moving parts, the complications become so wide that it just stops the game from being fun over a long period of time for me. I've said this all along. I plan to get Wallace, and after I've got Wallace, I'll see what I want to do. There's a chance I'll carry on playing for a while because I want to use Wallace and make him level 50 or whatever, but my main point is get Wallace and then review what I want to do, because there's a chance I'll just stop. Wallace is like my favourite NPC from Roguelands, which is why I want to get it into Dragon Ball. And I've got one of the units required to mix to make him, but I haven't seen even once the other unit I need to make him, because it's RNG, which means I can't get the character I want because the game is telling me, oh, you're rolling a dice and you're just not hitting right. Which, again, it's something like D&D uses dice for that very reason, because it can make you fail or make you succeed at any given time, because you have to roll a dice and add numbers, but you can manipulate that to make it easier for yourself, because you get bonuses in certain places. You get options to increase the chance of doing such a thing. But there's no way to do that. There's no way to do that in Dragon Ball. It's just roll a dice, whatever you get is what you get. And day one, I got nothing but weapons. I didn't get any characters from the summoning stuff at all, which is dreadful. I think that should be taken out completely. Weapons should be relegated to somewhere else, potentially just the Bazaar. Because if I don't get characters, this is what happened day one. I'm in no place. I'm at a huge disadvantage compared to other people, because they can have 5 units while I only have 4, which is already a net loss. Then they can choose units, mix units, make stronger units, get higher star units by giving the characters over to other units already to make them higher leveled, or give them more experience, or make them like higher star rating. They can combine units, assist spheres to make them more powerful, and I can't. I have options to get this 7 damage bow and put it onto an archer if I have an archer, because obviously that's the only way it's going to get the stats across. It's incredibly difficult. You've gotten used to the switching to the point where you can put an assist character into a lane, you can assist a person attacking, but still make mistakes by leaving people open occasionally. Yeah, leaving people open is a huge problem, especially when you can't actually save that person. And I don't know how the switching works. I know that it's possible, right? I know that you can move people around in different ways by rotating your character to the right or to the left in circles, but I don't know the patterns. I just like try until it works. And if it doesn't work, then I'm stuck, aren't I? It's like, oh, great. It's so bizarre. This is why Sean had the bug, I think, where... And I don't know if you would have encountered it, to be honest. But it was a bug where the AI would go on autopilot and not figure out what it wanted to do. It'd try and move characters into a position that it wasn't possible to move them into. So from there, they were like stuck in an endless loop, and I had to just quit the game, which made me lose a lightning. Again, lightning is not important, but it's one of those things. It's very clearly still in early development, but there are choices made in there that I wouldn't have made, but I'm also not a game developer, or someone trying to sell a product, which is another big thing. I admit that from the get-go. But, it's still something to be considered, I think. I would have done things very differently. Although I also wouldn't make a game like that anyway, because I don't care. It's not the type of game I would want to make. There we go, very fine. Alright, what is next? Get one of these, grab half of those. Boop boop. And clickety click. Good. Right. Gonna do some more challenge level 2 stuff, just because it's good experience. And after I've done a little bit more, I might go and put my mods on my gear, and then I might do Cathedral to get to level 100. I'm not far off anyway, and then I might worry about other stuff as well. But there you go. Yeah, Vanguard. I'm tempted to play. If I can get the emulator working, I'm tempted to play Dragon Ball again, like make a new account, and talk about these things at length, more than I just have, because obviously it'll be relevant to that, rather than just me huffing about on a Roguelands video, right? Well, Roguelands stream, rather. I'll be tempted to maybe try it again if I like find myself enjoying the game a lot more, but again, it's not my type of game as such, so who knows? I like how Sean leaves little Easter eggs to previous games, makes it fun when you know what they mean. Yeah, I agree, but to the same end, a lot of the Easter eggs are really obvious or are repetitive, which is kind of sad, right? Like, I appreciate it, because he's obviously put some time and thought into what these things are, but Roguelands has Magicite references everywhere, including the inclusion of a material called Magicite. And then he's also used the same Magicite in Dragon Ball Vanguard, which is weird because it's something else there. So, like, obviously the references to something, and that means it hints that they're from the same universe, right? It hints that they're like part of the shared universe he's created. But because they have different applications, it makes me think that they're not connected, right? So there's just 3 different things called Magicite. It's fun to see from like the outside looking in, like, yeah, great. As just like a consumer familiar with his work, sure, I agree. But as someone who likes to think about things, I'm not so convinced about it, which sounds really dumb. But it's nice to see Wallace, and it's nice to see Ring of Bolt. But I mean, there are references in this game to things that he's never shown, right? And again, this character is called Shiitake, because Shiitake is the name of a mushroom, and this character is a mushroom character, yay! But yeah, there's a character in the game, if I talk to Wallace, he talks about Lady Portobello, or Lady Portobello, I'm never quite sure. But he talks about this Queen of the Mushrooms, right? Which means Sean's thought it out. He's given this man a home planet, he's given this man a kingdom, he serves a woman like a queen, and these things exist, but they've never been shown. And it's like, you put thought into something, and it's not required that you show everything you think about. But Ring of Bolt, I'm fairly certain, is from a whole army of... not necessarily an army, but he's from a planet. He has difficulties with the Broccolites, as told by in-game text. He obviously comes from like an order of guards of some variety, but we don't know what they are. There's a chance he's talking about the Vanguard stuff, a chance he's talking about Dragon Ball, but I don't think he is. So I don't know. It's all a little bit strange. Like, it's all a bit tenuous, the links between them all. And why I do go, oh, that's a reference I understand, it's also not a reference that means anything. Gas bugs. Give me that. Oh, I'm meant to go and do the Chow Chams. Okay, I might go and do some of the basic levels for a minute then. We shall see. Click. Boop. Yeah, well, oops. I don't really have the money to do this just yet. I'll do a couple more runs. Like, I think the knight, the knight sprite, which doesn't sound right at all. The knight sprite in Vanguard, in Dragon Ball, is referencing the Pixel Kingdoms Knight, which is a previous game that Sean made on mobile. Right? I'm fairly certain that's the case. but I don't know for certain. No, you die. No, you die. Musket! Yeah! Although, you know, with all these complaints I have, I will admit I am difficult to impress. And I like things I like, and I don't like things I don't. Doesn't have to be any more method to it than that. I try to articulate my feelings, but they often come across as negative because I don't really talk about the things I like that much. But I also don't like tout like massively on social media and dismiss other people's opinions on things if they disagree with me. So I'm not like all over Reddit saying, "Oh, this game sucks," or "Oh, this game's great," because nobody goes on and says this game's great. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Please be dead, you little swine. Ba ba ba. Oh. Oh. Alright. Ooh, almost level 80. Very fine. Go. Get him. Get him dead. Oh, and a lot of Sean's references to things are like his Easter eggs are actually references to other games. That's probably most clear in Roguelands, to be honest. I've never played Magicite or Pixel Kingdoms or any of the other ones he made that are apparently really garbage, but a lot of them are references to other things. I wonder if it'd be fair if a weapon with the same colour as a unit but not the best suited one would partially give them stats. I think it should have worked like that anyway. Because I had like a sword. Yes, I had a sword and I wanted to give it to Ringabolt when I bought him. But I couldn't. Because, well, I could, but it wouldn't do anything for him. And like I said, I have an issue with the fact that the game locks it away from you. Insofar as like, oh, I didn't get a new character all day. I had to buy Ringabolt. Like I literally had to grind with like 4 characters until I got Ringabolt to get a 5th. And even then, like I didn't have a weapon for him. And you know, what good is that? What good is buying these like all-star cool characters with names and cool abilities or whatever if you can't do anything with them? It's like stupidly dumb. So I totally agree. It could have alleviated some of the problem of me not having anything, like not getting characters. Because having a sword that would apply to any warrior, any red character, would be really nice. Even if you didn't give me the full benefits, as you're saying, it would have alleviated some of the issue because the characters I had would have been stronger, regardless. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it should have been like that anyway. Because even now, I've got a 5-star character, right? I've got Rorik, his name is. He's a ranged character, he's green, and he has a gun. So I had to get a gun, and I luckily got one. But the gun I got was level 3, grade 6. That's it. That's the whole thing. So I've got this 5-star character with like one of the worst weapons I've ever got. And that's it. It's utter trash. And the value to actually increase the potency or the grade of that weapon, right? Of that weapon, it's like I think it's 1 weapon per grade, but the grade doesn't change the star for a long time. It's like so dumb. It's like, oh, you get 1 extra grade, and that doesn't necessarily amount to any new stats. It's ridiculously expensive. And not worth it. I'd rather sell it for the gold. And again, gold I think is a strange thing because I either have too much or not enough. Like I never have the right amount. I feel as though I've got way too much and I can spend it however I want. And then when I come to actually spending it on something else that I need, to like combine characters for example, I can't pay the gold cost. Like I think everything's a bit too overtuned. So that kind of sucks. Alright, Coop, thanks for stopping by anyway, buddy. Sorry your baseball got rained off. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Ooh. Full inventory again. Oh well. Closing off on Dragon Ball. It's RNG. It's all RNG. What the heck, bro? I feel as though, and this is really strange, Sean hasn't capitalized on the right currency to make purchasable, right? Because lightning can be bought with Magicite. It means you can indirectly buy lightning, which is fine. That makes sense. Very good. But Magicite, again, I have either so much of it, because you get 5 now. 5 Magicite per win, per like level you advance. That's a lot. Like according to Sean, that's like a dollar or whatever. Like that's how much money it costs. It's like that costs $1. I've just got $1 for doing that. That's what you're telling me. So I know he's just increased the cost of lightning. Because he did that, increased the cost of Magicite. Increased the gain of Magicite. I think it puts him in a funny position where he shouldn't have done that. He should have kept it so you get 2 Magicite per round, per like level you beat, and it still costs 2 to get additional lightning, but made it so the hard and the elite versions of all the levels gave you more Magicite, because at present they're not worth doing. Like the only reason you do them is to get more Magicite anyway, but the Magicite you get is negligible. And the difficulty is higher than like 2 or 3 worlds after the world you're trying to do in hard mode. And the same can be said for elite. It's like, what's the point? It makes no sense to me. It just doesn't follow across. The logic doesn't happen, because the only thing you're doing it for is additional experience, potentially different rewards, like different drops. But the Magicite stays the same, and the Magicite is a thing that should increase with difficulty. I'd be okay with the easy ones giving 2, the hard ones giving 5, and then the or like the easy ones giving 3 even, and then the hard ones giving 5, and then the elite ones giving 7. I feel like that's fair, because like doing an elite one is no small feat, and you're not going to be able to do an elite thing until, you know, a little way down the line, until you're on like the 4th world, I think. You're going to be able to then probably do the first level of the first world on elite, assuming you've done it all already on hard. So, I don't know. I have opinions, man. I feel as though Magicite is very valuable, but it's too easy to get. So, selling Magicite doesn't help you very much, right? Oh well. Right. Anyway, it's getting pretty close to lunchtime, so I might have to go and grab some food. Time is it? I've been going for 3 hours. If anyone has suggestions or anything, I'm happy to try and do something before I disappear. But the long and short of what I've got left to do is going to do mods. Actually, I'll do mods now. I'll tidy up my inventory, I'll do mods, and we'll leave for lunch. That's what we'll do. Don't need this. It's gone. I'll get rid of these mods because I don't need these ones right this second. Not that one. Which owl? There we go. Right, and I can sell this for some money. I don't need the musket. Alright, so yeah, I feel like Magicite's almost the same as if you sold credits for Roguelands. Like, it doesn't seem to make sense to me. Anyhow, mods, what do I need? So, I'm doing tech. Ignore this, I'm going to get another ring at some point. I need tech and magic, but most of my damage is coming from magic. So I need crit rate. So what I'm going to do, I believe, is... That's not where I am. Tech, okay. No point putting tech on this, but putting tech on this. Yes, please. This, definitely. This, yep. You do offer it as well, so I'll put it onto you. Because tech is my lowest stat, like the lowest combat stat anyway, I feel like I should try and even it out a little bit more. But at the same time, I barely use cluster bomber. I think magic's more valuable still. Let's move that one across, because I did that wrong. And then I'm going to need crit rate and crit damage. I feel like I'm just leaving tech behind, man. It's just an afterthought. Because it is, primarily, but... Well, here at least, I know I'm going to do crit rate, crit damage with you, so... That's only because it only scales off magic, so this way I can use it on other characters. Not a problem. Great choice. This... I think I want to put tech on it. Just to try and even things up a little bit. Not 6 of them now, that'd be great. And again, crit rate, crit damage, fantastic. Because honestly, you don't need that many of them. Turns out you get to stay. Oh, welcome back. Oh, how did the dungeon run go as well, Spike? I hope it went well. Did you get any cool drops? Right, this... I'm tempted to just leave it with magic, because magic is more powerful, and you still get a decent amount of tech from this, like a really good amount of tech from this helmet. So I think magic could be nice, unless there's something else I want to add. There's not really. So yeah, let's do that. This one, however, is not permanent, because when I get Mushroom Armor, it'll be replaced. And I'll probably put it over to magic, crit rate, crit damage. So for now... And again, I will get more stats from the armor than I will from this anyway. So for now, I'm going to put this as tech. Crit rate. And crit damage. Probably swap these around. Oh, I didn't because of the colour. Got it. Right, then these. Vitality is irrelevant. But the tech and the magic, again, are what pulls me over here. So, I can't even put anything on that because it's already on. Never mind. Magic, I think, makes the most sense, right? Yes, it will. Yeah, magic. And crit damage. Alright, so I want to actually pop these in a different order. About to pop these at the bottom. What the heck? Oh, what the heck? There we go. And we'll go and pop those on. Alright. Mech City, please. We built Mech City on rock and roll. That's the song. That's how it goes. Right, 4th Edge Gauntlet. It's going to be crit rate, crit damage, and bonus magic. That's a good gauntlet. Shield. This one's going to be crit rate, crit damage, and tech. This one, crit rate, crit damage, and magic. Because again, magic is my primary damage source. This one I'm putting it on tech because it's an impermanent piece of gear. And it still increases my overall damage, just not quite as much. Quite as obviously either. Okay, done. So, stats looking pretty good. This works still. Or is it just in the chests? Yep. Wowee! Let's break the game. Let's break the game. Let's break the game. Let's break the game. Yeah, I'm breaking my stats. Yeah, I'll log out in a second and fix that. But yep. Again, this is kind of Play Rogueland's kind of bug collection stream. So I know what's going on. I'll have this as a VOD later for myself. It's not going on the channel as usual, but yeah. So I'll have information for things that I've found as being buggy, which is most of it, to be honest. That's nice. Okay, Anything else cool here to purchase? Probably not, but it will look all the same, just in case. There's an Atalanta's Eye. No, I think we're good. Let's bail this joint. Pop. I will mention once again, how am I breaking my stats? Okay, look at my magic stat. It's 489 at current. If I put this ring, actually I could do it with this one, it makes more sense. 134 vitality, 489 magic. If I pop this into the chest, the value reduces, as it should, but then I pop it back on, this is now 494 and 139. The mods don't correctly remove if you don't take it off this way. You see 476 stays the same. 499 with it on, 476 with it off. This is just magic, okay? 476, I pop this in, it's 481. It hasn't decided that the mod, I'm going to do it here, we go up to 486. When I put this back on, boop. There you go. Basically the mods on here, onto the actual gear, aren't having the values retracted from my overall stat total. It's doing this because it's counting it incorrectly. It's going, you remove the gear, so when it does that, it takes off the actual stats. You can see, if I take this ring off, for example, I'll lose exactly 12 vitality from my vitality overall. Okay, so 137 to 149. That's it. But then when I remove it the other way, it's going to go, okay, you've removed that, you're going to lose 12 vitality. But it forgets it should take off an additional 5. And then when I pop it back on, I've got 5 more. Not that one, so this one. Boom. Boom. Got 5 more. I had a bug a while ago when my stats went negative. Yes, it does that as well, yeah. I haven't got any that do it, but yeah, that does happen. But you can see, like, I've just unequipped everything and my stats have gone up. Like, 539 is where my magic is right now, right? 539 it was. If I go back in, 449. I had an extra 90 stats that I shouldn't have had. I don't know if Sean knows about this. It's been a bug for a while, so I assume he should have at least heard about it. But it is what I'm going to tell him about, because that is a really important one. Because if you're patient enough, you can get your stats super, super high, and in which case gear is irrelevant, right? Because it doesn't matter what weapon you're using. If you can hit 10,000, which is possible, if you can hit in 10,000, it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter what weapon it is, you're going to kill everything. You've got to think, even if the stats cap out, right, at 9,999, even if they cap there, the fact remains that there are weapons that use more than that in scaling. So take the banana, for example. If you were to have 9,999 magic, again, I don't know if that is actually possible, I assume it is, but assume you had 9,999 magic, the banana's damage is that times 3, and it can crit. So you've got nearly 30k per hit, and on a crit, that's going to increase by 50%, thereabouts. So you're going to be hitting 45,000 with every single attack. And again, you have to have the patience. It's not something you can do instantly. It's not something that's that simple. But if I look at Galactus, for example, again, so he's got 873 vitality. Galactus is my favourite. He's my guy. So, you know, Vit on something, got 5 Vit on all of these. I've gone for stats on this rather than crit damage, because crit rate, I'd rather value that and take the extra stats, because this isn't a weapon build, it's a combat chip build. But I can do this, re-equip it, and you'll see I'm going to break 1,000. I'm going to break 1,000 on my stats. If I can have that back, thank you, that'd be fantastic, thank you. See, I'm already doing work with it because it's just so easy. It doesn't take any brains at all to do this. Should be going up by what, 30 every time I do this? Or thereabouts, 25 potentially? Yeah, you don't have vitality, neither do you. So 20, it's going up Jump height, dash speed, bonus mag, dash speed. Yeah. So these 4. So this time I should be over the 1,000 mark. Okay. So now I've got 1,008 vitality, which I shouldn't have. I should have about 200 less. But that damage is all still present. I can go into a level, for example. Yeah, I should be fine. I'll go into a level here. The damage from my Dark Fire, which is this one, is going to be Vitality plus Magic. So at the minute, that's going to be, what, 1,010, 1,030, 1,730 per hit, right? Bop. Done. These stats carry across. It's correctly calculated for the damage. It's not correctly calculated for how it's like actually brought about. And of course I can do this with magic as well. I can stack magic as high as I want. And because it adds these two things together, again, these cannot crit. I repeat, this cannot crit for the damage, but because I'm using a combat chip build, it means that I'm in a position where I can just run around like this, be a madman, don't worry about it, and I can do tons of damage for free. Normally I do like, I don't know, 300 less, I think. Yeah, it's pretty broke. Welcome back, Sir Hammerlock. How you doing, buddy? But you can see just how like busted this can be, like genuinely. Boop-a-doo. Do-do-do-do. But yeah, you can see that totally broken. Does not matter whatsoever. Of course, all this gear is like maxed out and stuff. I just need this to be legendary, and I haven't had one drop. I've not been grinding recently though, because I've lost the will to live on that. But that's fine. But you can see that that's him, and again, 1,008, 722, 873, 567. So I was doing way more than I should have been. Wow. But yeah, as you can tell, like that made me from, okay, I was doing what, 1730? How much do I actually do? I'll just quit out of this in a sec. Like 1,300? 1,440. So yeah, about 300 more than I was doing, which is what I thought it was. But that's crazy. Like, that's so dumb. And you can do that, like, swap out the gear. So you could just put stats, like raw stats, on a piece of gear. Just put +5 magic, +5 vitality, +5 faith, or whatever. And then pop it on. Shift click it into your chest, pop it back on, and keep doing that. Just rinse and repeat until this thing gives you however many stats you need. Obviously, if you have +5, you do it 20 times, you get 100 stats. That's just from one piece of gear. Now assume you have a full set. You have a full set of 3 stats. You just focus those 3 stats. That means you do that 20 times, you get 6 times whatever, there's 120 stats. Hang on, no, 120 stats, you get 100 for 5 of them. My maths is failing me now, but you get the idea, right? Like, the fact of the matter is, you do it 20 times, you get 100 stats. You do it 20 times, you get 600 stats. That's what it is if you do all 6 of them. That's insane. That's insane. And that's 20 times for a full set. It'll just take a little bit of time, but in theory, you don't need gear. You just need a piece of gear with stat mods on it. And no one uses stat mods. So, you've got tons of them. I've got tons of them. Look. I was given a lot of these. I won't lie about that, but look, I've got tons. I don't have that many magic, because magic is the one I use the most. Vitality, I also use a lot. Strength, got tons. Faith, what is that? Is it even a stat? Who knows? Yeah, talking about stat stacking. Yeah, math is hard. Screw that. Screw maths. But yeah, stat stacking is a huge bug. Huge bug. Because again, I have actually gone through, right? I've gone through and earned these stats. This character has been min-maxed. Not exactly min-maxed, because in theory I should have these as being... Oh, my nan's calling me, excuse me. Oh dear. Hello again. Right. Sorry about that. Talking to old women is difficult. If you don't know that already, you will learn it. I promise. Right. What was I doing? Yes, I've earned these stats, right? I haven't effectively min-maxed because I have the stuff down here to min-max, but this build is some of them anyway. This build is built around Darkfire, right? So this build in particular is just a combat chip build. It shouldn't really focus too much on the weapon damage, but I'm compensating because I picked the Ironclad race. Hopefully it's not bugged out. Oh, you can't see because I've got the mask on anyway. Pick the Ironclad race, which means I get a lot of vitality and not much magic, so I'm compensating by putting more magic into the build. Even though if I stack vitality, it'll give me higher regen, which is higher survivability, and it'll also give me more damage because just the way that it works. I could then swap out this for the Flare Blade, I think it is, one of the gauntlets. I think it's this one that I haven't got anymore because I might have lost it. Unless this is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's not this one. It's the other one. But that's fine. But yeah, there's let me have a look. I've got it up somewhere. Ultimate armor, ultimate weapons instead, please. Gauntlets. Elementalizer, I think. Yes, Elementalizer does magic for plus vitality divided by 2, which is okay. It's not perfect, obviously, but I've got that much. Like I've not quite, but I've nearly got double vitality than what I have magic. And again, I'm compensating for more magic by having the extra stats and stuff from the combat terminal here. So I mean, you know, if I were to take 2 of these out, that puts my stats up slightly differently. So you can see there, if I were to do it properly, it would be effectively maxed out at about double my vitality to what I have magic. So I'd be doing, you know, it'd be call it 500, and then, in fact, call it 450 and call it 900. That's probably close to where it's going to be. So like 450 plus half of 900 is another 450. So I'll be doing about the same damage as the 4th Age Gauntlet with a different weapon. But these are quite consistent to get, and the stats it offers alone are significantly better, because the Elementalizer itself gives 222, and that's vitality, tech, and magic. Oh, I'm being called again. Excuse me. Oh dear. This is what I said earlier about interruptions being really annoying, but you know, got to help my nan if she needs it, so I've got to stay pretty astute with her, but she's fine. Everything's okay, don't worry. You probably weren't worrying, but don't worry. And thank you for welcoming me back, that's very kind of you, thanks. Trail of thoughts do not exist when I'm trying to do 2 conversations at once, I tell you. Anyway, so yeah, it was 222, vitality, tech, magic, and then this, I think it's a 5? Yes, I think it's 5 vitality, 5 magic. I will double check that, but I'm fairly certain it's a 5. Roguelands, weapons, da-da. 4th Age, everything. The Gauntlet, yeah, it's 5 magic, 5 vitality. So the stats this gives are way better, just overall for the build, which makes it more valuable than the Elementalizer. So I would lose a slight amount of DPS, but not a huge amount if I wanted to do it. But as you can see from here, it works fine. It's great. the build is no problem. But I put time in to carefully select stats, right, to make this a good build. I know I've got 36 dexterity and strength. That's because of my race, and nothing I can do about that. But in a combination with all this stuff, right? Hang on, where's the rest of my faith coming from? What? Oh, these. Yep, got it. So yeah, 36 is the base, right? So my actual stats. Actual stats. Can't shift click these. Why? Actual stats, because I am actually a dark mage as well, I do get magic as well as vitality here. Should be 36 base for everything. I'm up to 102 base magic because of my race, and 306 vitality. Then I picked bits and pieces that increase this. The armor could be improved. Again, I could get a legendary Felbug armor, which would be great. It increased my stats a little bit. You can see the values it already offers. It'll go up to here. It'll give me an additional 3 stats. That's it. It's not a huge improvement, but it is an improvement. The only other thing I could do is get the Exodus armor, which of course gives me more stats overall, which would be fantastic. In fact, how much does the Exodus do? Is it 20 across all stats? Let me quickly go to armor page. Boom. So, yeah, 20 across all stats, right? 20. That's a lot. That's double the magic I'd be getting, right? Like, that is the min-max, like the absolute extreme. So as soon as the armor's available for Exodus, that is probably an option for me. But, you know, it's one of those things where at the minute, it looks cool. It's now Galactus. It's on theme. I'm going to keep it with the purple one. But I've selected the armor because it's, number one, it's accessible in the game right now, which is huge. That's just got so much value that, you know, it's almost incomparable. Like, genuinely, it's almost incomparable. But when there's something in the game, in particular it's the stat stacking, and I could do it 20 times with a single piece of gear and get the same amount of, well, it'd be 23 times to get the same amount of magic as this armor piece would give me. Or this one. You know, this helmet would give me as well. So 23 times I've got to put something into a chest and re-equip it. That's it. So you've just eliminated all of the cost-effective time that I've spent to try and grind this thing. RNG is eliminated. Skill is eliminated. Actual, you know, time dedicated to get to that point, to grind for that thing. The point of making the character has been completely eliminated. It's ridiculous. Your race doesn't matter. Your class doesn't matter. All of these things can be thrown to the side simply by just shift-clicking a few things around. It's so incredibly broken that even though I spent time to pick and choose where stats were coming from, how damage was dealt, what source I'd be using primarily, whether this character could do ultra bosses or not, the time I put into it is nullified just because of that single bug. It's not to say people do it a lot, although, you know, I don't see people do it. They totally could. It's within the realms of possibility. There's a lot of questionability with you know, things like this, as to whether or not the blame belongs with the developer or with the players, because the developer didn't do something correctly, clearly, but the players are the ones that can abuse it. And it's fair enough to find it, because again, I've shown you I have abused it today, I will admit that, but I don't use it all the time. If you see on the a lot of the, you know, the damage, not the damage, the ultra bosses I've fought, even on stream and such, you will have seen me use just the regular damage, or it'll be within like 5 or 10 as of a range, because I may have accidentally or not intentionally tried to abuse the glitch, and I've just shift-clicked something into my chest by accident, or moved things around, or changed gear, and so the stats do stack up. But you'll see it is usually around the right value, and you've seen today I'll log out and log back in and it fixes itself, because I understand the problem. But regardless of who the blame belongs to, it does ruin a lot of the momentum of the game, which kind of sucks, man. I'm not a big fan of that. But there you go. Like, I spent time, picked a gauntlet, picked the shield, because it's one of the best shields in the game. It's top 3. Depending on where you put it, it's top 1 or 2, in my opinion. Then, of course, you know, armor and stuff, just as I've been lucky enough to get the drops. And then these also lucky enough to get the drops. And I could min-max more here to get more stats out of the rings, but I've got... My rings basically have become sort of like utility, so that I've still got the crit rate on them, both of them do, I'm pretty sure. But I've got 10 dash speed, and then 5 bonus jump height. It's effectively like having, not quite because it's not as extreme, but it's kind of like having half of the Beats by Boizu, the augment, and still having the Forsaken Mask. So it increases survivability a lot without adding any extra vitality, because I've already got so much vitality. Anymore is nothing more than a flash in the pan. You're splitting hairs, just be quicker. That's it. That's all it helps me do. Basically, that increases my clear speeds, it increases my ability to dodge, and things like that. So this is beneficial for this build as a clearing build rather than a weapon build with like the Use as a Combat chip, because it adds so much more mobility to me and makes it so that a lot of the pressure on the stamina bar is eliminated. Although I know a few people that have that problem, but I generally don't, even without the extra stamina regen on some rings or the extra dash speed and such on these. But yeah, I mean, you can see that a lot of thought went into this, because you can see that even here, okay, if I can have these back actually, even here, I decided to go with magic instead of vitality, even though I know vitality would in theory be better, just so I can make it so my weapon is more effective. That's also why I stack a lot of crit rate, even though I shouldn't. It's just so I can have more effective damage output than, you know, otherwise, where I could put more vitality, more magic, and then like dash speed or something to that effect, or monster drops or whatever, or experience even, you know, to get it level it faster. But I've also decided to take Bubble. Again, this Darkfire is what the build's about. Enhanced Mind and Forsaken Mask helps me support this, so I'm able to keep Darkfire up for as long as possible. That's maximum uptime with maximum damage. Those are the two main components of the build. Then I've got obviously everything else min-maxed loosely, like as far as I can push it for myself right now, as far as I care to push it right now. But I'm also supporting myself with Bubble, and Bubble is just extra survivability, and the stuff that I've actually used gives me exactly 105 faith. 105, the 5 is irrelevant, the 100 is what I want. You can see here, right? Bubble. All nearby allies gain a bubble shield for 20 seconds, reducing the next hit by a fourth of your faith stat. Damage reduction caps at 25. So the maximum effectiveness is 25 times 4, which is 100. Anything above that is a wasted stat. However, because I get free stats from my race, not from anywhere else, it puts me over the 100 mark when combined with the 19 here, 19 here, and 19 there. And again, that's just 60 on top of the, you know, basically 60 on top of the 36. That's it. Like, nowhere else am I getting it from. Again, take this off. Oh, and these as well, sorry. Boom, boom, boom. You can see it's 36, it's fine. But then I picked these because they have high magic values, and again, that's compensating for the vitality leaning I've got. So I could change the droids out and do more damage, have more survivability, or make it so my weapon's stronger. And by doing that, I've also been able to get enough faith to be able to push me just over. And again, I could take off one of these droids, right? One of these droids, and I've still got enough faith. So I could get a completely different droid in here. I could choose something else. But all the stats are irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get much more vitality or much more magic, and, you know, have another effective stat somewhere, because I don't care about any other stats. If this is over 100, that's fine. So it's over 100, and I understand any more than that is wasteful, because Bubble is, and quote me on it, the only good faith combat chip to exist. That's it. Right now, before there was good ones. Angelic Augur was fantastic. No longer. That's the only good one. But that's just how I feel. But this character, again, you can see I put a lot of thought into it. I put a lot of time into it. I found where the stats need to come from, what the stats need to be. I've hit certain values I needed to acquire, made choices so that the character could come together. But it could all be undone by someone with shift and left click and a W. That's it. So yeah, it's a pretty decent bug. It's kind of sad. Really is one that needs to be removed. It's probably one of the biggest ones in existence, to be honest, in the game right now. It's a big problem. But, you know, I've got relatively similar stats here now. Ignoring the vitality, my magic's approaching the same value, which is great. Obviously, I'm using a lot of the same elements here. Azarius rings I prefer, just on anyone who's going to talk about them for whatever reason. I prefer these over the Percival rings for the reasons I said about Faith being garbage. It does give you more magic overall, but in this case it doesn't give me any tech. And in the case of my in Galactus, the Dark Mage build, the Darkfire build, it doesn't give me any vitality, and it means that basically, so from where it is right now, right, level 6, it gives me a total 23 magic and 17 vitality. That's 40 total, whereas the Percival's at max. gives me 39 total magic. So already I'm getting more for the build I'm using for Galactus, right? It's already better than that at level 6. Although I have got plus 5 on both of those, but you know, it's irrelevant. I haven't got stats on this, but if I did, it put me up to about 44, so it's not a huge difference. It gives me Faith, which I don't need because Faith is Garbo. And then, obviously, as the case is here, it gives me, you know, 23 magic and 12 tech, so that puts me up to 35, and that's already bordering on the level of the 10. Of like the max rank Percival's ring, and again it's in effective stats, which is more important to me than anything, because that's I think that shows understanding on realms of other stuff. But there you go. Anyway, I've lost a lot of luster from that. Like I said, my nanny is fine, just for anyone who does care. She's having some hospital appointments and stuff, and she needs moving around, and appointments are being changed and what have you. So as the case may be, I'm on call, making sure she's okay, which she is, but I'm just having to stay in the loop. But there we go. Right, I'm going to stop for now because it is lunchtime. I didn't get everything done that I wanted to do, but I do need to go and get some food, and I don't know what I'm going to eat, but I'm going to eat something. Probably do some cooking. But yes, thank you to everybody that joined me. I know a few have been around and rotating through. It's been great to talk to people again. I should be streaming tomorrow, not sure when, but I will be streaming Battlerite. I think if I get time to stream as well, I might do Teslagrad. I might start some Teslagrad, or I might do that tonight. Like I said, I want to make the most out of these 3 days, and recording is a good way to make use of this time, but that would require editing, it would require rendering, uploading, and of course like final finishing touches. So streaming's much more direct, much quicker, and hopefully getting that content to you straight away. So if you guys are around later today or tomorrow or even the day after, I should be streaming at least for a little bit in each of those days. So if you are interested in hanging around, stay tuned to the Discord. Link is in the description as usual. I won't be tweeting that I stream because it's also a personal Twitter, but who cares? Stay tuned to the Discord. Let me know if anything's going on. Spike, let me know if you stream any Final Fantasy tomorrow. I'll see if I'm around, and I'll hop along if I'm available. But for now, again, thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. And until next time, of course, look after yourselves. And I'll see you all then.